Welcome to the Inglorious Bards. I'm your humble game master, Tom, and this is adventure number 9. Glad to have you here. We are live streaming right now on twitch.tv/ingloriousbards every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific. We're also coming to you on every podcast platform there is in the world and YouTube if you want to catch our previous videos. Let's get a recap of what happened during our last adventure.
Iggy was drunk, so very drunk that he passed out. And so the adventurers left him in the inn while he sobered up and laid low because he was also very, very hunted by House Vaz. So the rest of us went on to go check out Phineas Tumblepots to see what he said. On the way there, he told us about Tarkan, who led us to Lord Eandermore. The heroes went and visited the Lord, found out that he was a great big champion for the Grey Wolf and offered stay for everybody. And then also offered to get us introduced to Devar from the Wolves from the Mearscon Grey Wolves. While we waited for him, the heroes then took off to the gardens to go find some information that Phineas had sent them for, looking for information off of a scroll or some sort of rubbing that he was indicating, and to find some blue crystals. They ended up diving down underneath the gardens into the sewers, encountered another adventuring party who looked like they were going for the same treasure, and then fell into a pit to fight a giant guardian ghost. They found what they were looking for, relieved Jix of some treasure, and we are ready to get for the next part. So, with that, let the adventure begin!
You bastards just left me at the inn while you went off adventuring?
After stirring up trouble with House Vaz, we thought it best if you kept a low profile.
Our 6 heroes move through the streets of Mearscon under the cover of darkness.
I can take care of myself. Hell, I can take on that whole friggin' House Vaz with just one hand.
That's the exact attitude that got us into this mess, and precisely what we are trying to avoid.
A woman opens her door to empty a bucket, and Idrisyl instinctively draws his bow on her before relaxing.
Truth be told, Iggy, you were more than a little sloshed from the night before. We figured a little rest would do you good.
Nah, we dwarves have stomachs of iron. I can hold my beer.
You're made of like 83% beer.
Idrisyl points down an alley and the group moves on, always watching to see if anyone is following.
So where are we headed? Are we gonna fight somebody?
Nah, we did that last night.
Well, then, are we gonna get our hands on some treasure?
Nah, we did that too.
Are we gonna uncover some ancient mystery or something?
Nope. We did that about an hour ago.
Well, what didn't you do?
But we didn't victoriously win a battle with ease.
So you got your asses handed to you without old Igno leading the charge.
Everyone looks away from Iggy, which makes the dwarf smile even more. After walking in silence for a bit, Xander speaks up.
Oh! You know what we did? We found a treasure map on a giant stone tablet that leads to something called the Nexus.
What did the map show?
It was less a map and more a flourish of words.
Never mind.
Oh, and we ran into another adventuring party with a wizard lady and a wayfarer of Carahel.
Supposed wayfarer.
Yeah, sure. And did you all see that halfling thief? She was so friendly and cute too. I think she smiled at me.
Our gnome here may have a crush.
What? Me? No? Shut up, you guys! What? It's just silly.
Xander and Halfling sitting in a tree.
Don't.
F you, she. What the hell would you call the offspring of a gnome and a halfling?
A gelfling?
I'm pretty sure that's trademarked, guys.
The heroes come out of an alley and into a wide avenue in the upper-class district called Thale. They walk past beautiful trees planted between shops and fancy hanging lanterns that cast a warm glow across the cobblestone street.
So where are we headed?
We're headed to the Elderbrick Estate, home of one of the Grey Wolf's allies here in the city.
Lord Yendamore is his name. He's a good man who knows the political scene here and has offered to quarter us in his estate for as long as we need.
He has the connections with the wolves here in Mearscon that we need. We're headed to a meeting with them now. A man named Devar.
How is this Lord Endemore and Devar fella gonna help us?
You have it backwards, my friend. The question is, how do we help them?
Well, does this lord at least have some drinks for this thirsty dwarf?
All you can handle there, youngster.
Nice, I need to get filled back up to 83%.
You guys arrive at the Elderbrook Estate and knock upon the door. After a brief moment, you see the door unlock, and standing before you is the caretaker of the place, who has a nice little servant uniform on, an older fellow with thinning hair, and he says, yes?
It's us. Hi.
Right this way. And he opens the door further and lets you in. He takes a second glance at this kind of rough-looking dwarf, but closes the door behind him anyways, lets you guys in, and says, Lord Endemore will see you in his meeting room. Would you like me to show you the way?
Please do.
He walks 5 feet to the door to the meeting room and takes you right in. You go inside. There are two people.
You've been the most helpful manservant we've ever run into.
And inside, there's the old man, Lord Endemore, dressed in stylishly expensive outfits, a little out of date, but it looks good. And then there is another man. He has a kind of a fancy top coat on top of some really grungy clothes. He's got an unkept beard. He looks pretty scraggly. And they're sitting in this meeting room with a big, nice table, some chairs, big paintings and sconces, very fancy room. Lord Endemore says, good evening, gentlemen. Please come in. Welcome, welcome. I brought my associate, Devar, here, just as I mentioned. Chumley, close the door! And Chumley closes the door. This is Devar. These are the newest possible members of the Wolves. Devar's there, and he looks at you, and he says, hey, I'm Devar.
Hey, Devar.
Hi! I'm Xander. We're the defenders of the realm.
You're really loud there, gnome.
You're so quiet. What did you say?
Xander, settle down.
I've been a wolf. I'm shut up. I've been a wolf. I've been a wolf for almost 2 years, doing my best to help the king get back, and I haven't even met him. And I've heard you've had that honor. I'm gonna say I'm a little jealous.
Can I tell him now?
Idrisyl steps forward before Xander gets to do that. And it's just like, we've made good friends and allies with the Grey Wolf himself. Where do you stand in his allegiance?
I've been fighting for his cause and for his right to retake his throne here in Mearscon for 2 years. I've been out on the streets. I've been stealing what needed to be stolen, putting in the good word where it needed to be put in, and fighting against this Senate for a long, long time. And I'm glad to hear that he's getting closer and closer to taking his throne back.
So you know these streets well?
I know him very well.
Good. We could use someone with your connections and talents.
I run the up... What? Huh?
Yeah. Yeah, we need someone who knows the streets of Mearscon real well. Yeah.
Says Chicks jealously.
Someone who's been here within the last 4 to 5 months who knows the city right now. Well,
I've been running the wolf operation here for at least a year. There's not a lot of us left. They've been really putting the pressure on us the last few months. I've seen some good men and women hanging from ropes out on the city with people spitting on them, priests taunting our cause. So it's good to see some new blood here.
We saw that priest. I burned those signs off their necks. I knew that those weren't real wolves. He's done that before. We saw him in Tabernary.
It's good to meet you too, sir. Our little gnome friend here does mean well, even though he's loud.
I'm a gnome!
And who might you be? I haven't had the pleasure, sir. I am Lord Endemore, owner of this manor and ally to the one true king.
I'm Ignal Heavybringer.
A pleasure.
I know you've met my cohorts here before. I was off on a secret mission.
Ooh, do tell.
Secret mission.
Yeah.
I understand. Yeah. I understand. We will try to be as forthcoming as we can. I would say for now, you are free to speak as much as you want about the king here within this room. But beyond this, I would be very cautious who you speak with about the kings. In any way, identifying as an ally to the Grey Wolf will certainly get you killed here in the city. Let us have some drinks and talk about some options. Chumley, bring us some drinks!
Speaking
He's
of
like right there.
Speaking of chumballs, where's he stand with this whole Wolf Alliance thing?
Chumley opens up the door and asks for the drink orders, and you guys give him some strange requests. And he says, okay. And as he's leaving, his lord, Endemore, says, Chumley does not have opinions on things. Chumley is an excellent attendant. Isn't that right, Chumley? Chumley turns around. Yes, my lord. Get the drinks, Chumley! And then Chumley goes off and closes the door. As I was about to say, we need to have a bit of a discussion this evening. There are many things to talk about. Now that you are here, we have options of what we can do. Instead of running low on people and having our numbers dwindle down, we have access to such great heroes as yourselves. In particular, we have our goal to bring back the king and end the Senate. To do this, there are political methods we must do, and must do so with a bit of humility, a bit of caution, a bit of diplomacy. And
I am all of those. I'm super cautious. I can do diplomacy like nobody else, and I'm adorable.
I guess 1 out of 3 is not too bad.
Which one?
just roll a die.
just all the optimism. I hope it's the right one.
The other guy, Devar, says, well, the other thing we got to watch out for is we got to get some dirty work done, too. No one else is going to do it just sitting here in fancy rooms. We got to make a difference.
The dirty work is what we're going to excel more at than hobnobbing around.
Lord Endemore says, well, I hope you can somehow satisfy both requirements. We need political allies, and we need dangerous work done both. The rough fellow Devar says, we got several houses here in the city, each of them collections of nobles. And in particular, we got one enemy that stands out above them all, and that's the most powerful house in the city, and that's House Nakor. These people have been running wild the last 2 decades, making hand over fist with money, coins just coming in. They don't want that to stop. They've got money flowing in, easy money into the senators, buying them off and getting their way. And they're able to sway political movement within the Senate in any way they want. They need to be one of our first targets. We need to slow them down and somehow stop the cash going into the Senate.
What's their source of income?
They own so much of this city. They have been focused on manipulating markets, managing costs and expenses, and making big plays right at the perfect time. Some would say almost too perfect. They were strong before the king left, and they've got even stronger since. The Senate rules. We all know that. But the House Nakor can make whatever they want happen.
So they like to short sell the residuals, I see.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think so. The Senate, I don't know, they've got their own power that they want, and they don't want to give that up, and neither does House Nakor. They want everything to keep going the way it is, and they sure as hell don't want a dangerous fight happening. But they will fight tooth and nail if necessary to prevent the king from returning. So my goal, and I'm hoping it's your goal, is to one day have King Phaon enter Mearscon, walk into the Senate, declare his goddamn return, and take this throne. We'll do it with loss of life if we have to, but as peacefully as we can. And the more we do now, the easier it is for him later.
We would hope that the Senate would welcome Phaon with open arms after we've had our say.
That's the stupidest thing I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
The Senate hates him. The Senate wants nothing to do with him. The Senate wants his existence wiped out if they had the balls to do it.
Idrisyl notices all his friends sort of giggle after he says that, but he holds firm and just says, I hear not all in the Senate share that same value. There are some still loyal to the Great Wolf.
That's true. That's true. I would agree with that. There are some who have loyalty to the old blood, but they grow fewer and fewer as the years go by. I try to stay connected where I can, but I find myself invited to fewer events these days and fewer meetings and gatherings, and my connections have grown a bit tender at times, but I'll provide what assistance I can on the political spectrum.
How does attacking the house, Nakor, in regards to these assets or attacking the monies, make the king more welcome?
Like I said, Nakor funds the Senate. The Senate gets their money. The Senate makes things happen. The Nakor and the Senate are completely in bed together. The Senate doesn't have money. They're not businessmen. They're not owners like that. Nakor makes the coin. If we can stop or hinder or limit or hurt the coin going into the Senate, that's weakening them. That's where we can hit them where it counts.
You know anybody that was going to know the inner workings of House Nakor?
Well, that's the danger. If you strike at the house, you've got to be precise, and you've got to make sure they don't know who you are. The last thing you want ever is having some house out hunting for you, because that's a death sentence.
What would you say is
what's going on with this little one?
What's the relationship between the four houses of Mearscon?
Say that again.
What's the relationship right now? What's the political environment, if you will, between the four ruling houses here in Mearscon?
Well, you've got House Nakor, who runs the show, I think is fair to say, at least when it comes to any house infighting. They've got the coin, they've got the private soldiers. I think that's an easy thing to say. At the other end of the spectrum, you have House Summerall, and they're pretty much scattered. They're more of I don't know, they remind me of some of the old churches that used to try and take care of the homeless and the needy. They don't have much power at all. We're grateful for them, but they're not a player in the political spectrum at all.
Do any of the houses seem to have some sort of alliance? Maybe a working relationship?
The houses, in my experience, hate each other and would never, ever consort with one. That's not entirely true. I believe the houses have at time connected from time to time to support each other. You have Nakor with their funds and their soldiers. You have Relmar with their magic. You have Voss with their thieves and underworld connections, and they sometimes interact. But I still have a feeling there are huge rifts between all three, and efforts to increase those wedges would be good. My only concern is I don't know what would happen if the king arrives. That is a huge change to the status quo. What is happening? We know for sure Nakor would do anything to avoid that. I don't know where Relmar and House Vass fall within that. The king's arrival would shake things up dramatically.
Yes, the wedge thing. If we were able to take House Vass or House Relnar or both and have them try to attack House Nakor, we would put the dividing line in between, and we would separate the Senate from the houses. We could get the houses to all fight each other, making the Senate powerless, letting the king come in, filling it what I would think could be called a power like vacuum or like a big suction area. He would take that part over, and then he would be the hero for everything because he was fixing all the fighting that was happening in the houses.
I have an idea.
This is your diplomat.
I rolled a 3.
What's your idea?
Javar, you said?
Yes.
Yes.
Jix pulls out from his little pouch his signet.
My name is Jix of House Summerall. I propose, if we can devise a plan, having House Summerall perhaps pitting the other houses against each other, we could create the exact scenario that Xander here has somehow pulled out of his ass.
You're welcome.
It's a bag of holding.
Oh, there's more.
Here's my plan. House Summerall, as you said correctly, is a benevolent house. We've spent time and money and resources trying to help the people, mostly the people who cannot help themselves. If House Summerall could persuade, perhaps, one of the other houses to get behind some sort of grand idea of garnering the people's admirations through helping them, through providing for those who need provisions, social service, we could say. That could cause jealousy among the other two houses as the people begin to support the third house. This could set up the political environment that we need for the good king to come back in and provide rest and peace and ultimate authority to Mearscon.
Spoken like a true diplomat. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. No offense, I didn't think you were a member of any house at all there, Goblin, but that's good news. If you got ins, I think we should exploit that at any. I would warn some caution, says Lord Endemore. If we how do I say this delicately? The House Summerall, I think, is a delicate flower, and it is beautiful, and it pollinates the bees that come, and it is wonderful. And then you have Boots of Nakor that could easily stomp it, and the knives of House Vast that could slash it apart, and giant fireballs from Realmore. I think we would have to be extremely cautious with any actions, or House Summerall would easily be wiped out of the city once and for all.
Yendamore, I agree. It's a risky proposal, but it's one that I could talk to my parents about and see if they are willing to take.
Yeah, you talk to Mommy and Daddy. You see what they can do.
It's Pops and Mutter.
House Summerall also has something that none of the other houses have. They have us.
Yeah!
Yes!
Half the group strikes her own poses and holds it. The other half are just like, well, I've got some word on one way. If you can work on that, I've got a way that we might be able to affect House Nakor now. I don't know if it'll be big or if it'll be small, but agents from House Nakor spent some time talking to a small-time gang leader on the docks at Long Pier. That's not their style. That's way beneath them. That got my interest. And not long after that, these same agents of Nakor were spotted watching the Madison Trade Warehouse on Long Pier. So they seem really interested in something going or coming or arriving in Mearscon. I think disrupting whatever's going on there, that'll be a good start to get them on the back foot.
And would it be beneficial to try to do that in such a way that maybe another of the houses is implicated in that disruption?
Lord Endemore says, I might be able to help with that. I was going to use this as an example, in case any of you are not familiar, but I do happen to have a small banner, and he opens up a cupboard and pulls out just a rolled piece of cloth. It's about maybe 2 foot by 3 foot, almost like a thick little flag, and it has some harsh red triangles, shapes, and some yellow background circle. Man, it's describing the image from the show V for some reason to me right now. Anyways, he says this is a banner from the House Vass that I have somehow acquired. We don't need to go into why, but this might be of value to you. But I only have the one, so use it wisely. He hands it to the group speaker and diplomat, Jix the Goblin Alchemist.
Thank you, Lord Gianjamar. This
Yours.
is quite a find. We'll put it to good use.
Could
I'm
we
sure.
get more of these, or have more of these made from the other houses?
I could see about that. I would have to pay quite a sum, particularly for the hush money. We don't want to be caught making another house's banner.
What about that textile guy with the nose? Oh, never mind.
No? Oh, yes, of course.
Oh, Grandma.
And looking at Jix, do we not have a few daggers that came from House Vass's stockpile?
Yeah, I think I have 2 or 3.
That's right.
Oh, and what if we got some of those robes? Like those casters that they wear. If we got some of those yellow robes, those seem pretty vassy.
What? Wait, like the people who came to pull off some sort of heist just denuded themselves and left their robes there hanging out?
Or one of their people is killed and left at the scene?
And instantly disappears, leaving just a robe.
No.
I'm saying that we can disguise ourselves in the robes.
Kill a couple of those yellow guys.
And then
just
dump them
Yeah.
with House Nakor.
This
Guys.
is a good plan.
I think we got something to do this episode.
I was so worried we'd be bored.
Devar says, the man that the Nakor agent spoke to, he's a punk. He's a gang leader named Zerl. I would see what his connection is. He might know something. I wouldn't trust him at all, though. He's a bastard.
Where's he at?
He hangs out on Long Pier, I think the northern side of the docks.
And he works for House Vass?
He works for himself. He's an idiot.
Fair.
Oh, you're talking about some dangerous work. I also have something that you might be able to assist with as well. I have my own little mission idea that perhaps might be worthy of some attention. Do any of you know the old Senator Kethad of the Senate? He gets blank looks from across the room.
Oh, no.
Well, he is particularly worried about the king's return, as many of the senators are. They've been hearing rumors. And Senator Kethad, his job is to keep the other senators in line. I don't have dealings with him myself. He and I don't get along, obviously, but I do try to keep an ear as to what's going on. Recently, I hear he's been trying to persuade a jittery Senator Grier. He wants to keep this Senator Grier aligned at all costs. And I believe in my interactions with Grier, and it's been over a month, I know, but Grier is terrified of the return of the king, and he doesn't know which side to take. Now, I know that's not good in an ally, and particularly in a cause like this, but when it comes to votes, it comes to maybe shaking things up a bit. I think perhaps shaking up Senator Grier might be a good step. Oh, bless you. By Solene, bless you. And
Thank you.
Of course. The older Kethad, he's been working Grier, trying to put him at ease and keep his votes aligned in. But I feel that one good push could send Grier out of Kethad's grasp. Maybe start some sort of crack, some sort of splitting within the Senate. I think striking fear into Senator Grier would do the trick. Show him the Grey Wolf is about to return, that these rotten senators are far from untouchable. Although the issue is, they are pretty much untouchable.
We'll see about that.
I have one option. A lead? I like having leads.
Who keeps clicking on this non-playable character?
If you agree with me with this plan, Kethad has been treating Senator Grier to the Waterfalls Bathhouse, of which I am a member, a gold member, yes. They... yeah, what? Oh, they have showers, yes. And from... they share words and they connect a bit, and it's every other day I have spotted the two senators each morning relaxing in Kethad's private bathing suite. That's where Grier can be reached. You will not get to the Senate floor. You will not get to the noble houses at the top of Mearscon. But there, within the Waterfalls Bathhouse, I think sending a direct message there, where there is no doubt in his mind that the king is returning and that no senator is outside the reach of the Grey Wolf, I think that would have a big impact.
We'll keep it under. We'll keep it in mind.
Okay, please do. There's a vote coming in about 2 weeks to imprison anyone caught aiding the wolves in any way. And of course, this will pass without trouble. But I think Senator Grier's deciding vote might start to sway if we have signs showing him the king's return. I think it's time we start unraveling the Senate bond itself.
I've got so many ideas.
Xander's head explodes.
Gonna need a whole like side one-off just for Xander's ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You speak often of what we can do with the senators and what we can do with the houses. Has there been any word of the wolf himself?
I have not heard any direct. My most recent information are you arriving here in Mearscon. It is great information, but that is the most recent. You saw him east of Tavernry on heading out. I believe you said further to the east. I do not know when he will come. This has been a long plan. It's been a long effort. This has been a campaign going on for some time. And I can feel, though, that something is happening, especially with your arrival. There's an electricity and an excitement.
So what is your plan to do the bathhouse waterfall thing?
What do you mean, my friend?
How are you going to make it happen?
Well,
Who you got lined up?
well, you.
What? Why me?
The lot of you. You are the ones that are here and able to make things happen. I can't intimidate some senator beyond it being beyond my normal countenance. I can't have my name attached.
Well, you know people. You have a Vash banner of all things.
I can do
you
it.
must have contacts. Why not use one of your guys?
I'm a guy.
Yeah, you are my guys.
I'm the guy.
Look, I have some resources here and some connections to old allies of the king, but the greatest allies the Grey Wolf has, they are sitting before me. The six of you, the seven of you, he says, also including Devar. We have lost many wolves. There are very few, and we cannot last much longer unless we can take action. No offense to dear Devar here, but I think we are beyond trying to recruit and beyond trying to spread word throughout the town of the great king. We need to start taking action, and you are a godsend.
I'm a godsend.
All right. One final question.
Yes.
When you take 5318008.5, turn it upside down and read it backwards, what's it say?
I don't follow.
Boobies. You didn't pass.
All right.
What's happening?
I don't know. It involves math, but that reminds me.
We will
And
tell Theon of your mistake.
You have
Wish you didn't have a
failed.
calculator in 4th grade.
That reminds me, he opens up a drawer and he pulls out a stack of platinum coins and puts it on the table. I have a little bit of asset here. I would like to help get your operation here in Mearscon started. And he hands 4 platinum pieces to each of you.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Keep in mind, a platinum is worth 10 gold, so that is a total of 240 gold he's just handed to the group. 4 platinum each.
Should not have this much money.
I gotta go give this away.
I hope you put it to good use for our cause. I know there are things that come up, and I'm sure there will be even more expenses. I will see if I can scrounge together some other money. That won't be necessary. Look, if you guys need cash, I've got someone for you. If you're looking for work, it's not easy work. It's work on the darker side of the city, but there's a man who pays well for dangerous work. If you need money, go see him. He'll get you profitable jobs. He works out of a place called Trade and Scribes in the High Bricks district, but he ain't much of a scribe. He's simply called the bookkeeper. Tell him you ran into me. He'll get you set up. He's got money, and he can take care of you.
The bookkeeper. He sounds nice.
Sounds familiar to me. I feel like I've heard that somewhere before.
Okay, but
Sounds like we might be sent on a mapping mission to go see how many kobolds are on an island.
I guess we say our farewells to the two of them.
All right. He says, well,
Maybe?
I think this has been an excellent talk. Sir Ignal Heavybringer,
Yes.
I will get you a comfortable, relaxing room for you to unwind. Chumley, get us a room! And Chumley appears and escorts you to your private suite.
Nice. Thank you very much.
Is this? It's evening time.
Oh, yes.
It's nighttime. Yep.
Yes.
Jix, I think, is going to.
Hey guys, a question.
What?
Who wants to sleep over at my house?
Everybody sort of looks away and
I have my own room here.
I mean,
Couldn't we
Bed
just stop
here
by?
is
We could
really
stop by and
nice.
say hello to Mother in the morning. It's late.
could, but it's a little easier to get her tipsy at night.
What do you need to get her tipsy for?
To
Try
get
to
her
raise my allowance.
to get her on board with this idea of mine to like work with one of the other houses and create chaos in the city. All that, you know.
Do you maybe not want to explore a few other options we have in front of us before you pull them into it? I would hate to put your mother and father into a place where they could be harmed.
I understand, and I appreciate
He
that.
says not
Sure.
threatening at all.
I think
Experience you got here.
it doesn't hurt to butter the bread a little early.
If you need to go talk to Mother, I will join you.
Very much appreciated.
And I just look at this big empty room and like a little tear. Just a little one. Just a
Well,
little-
it is really late, FYI.
Yeah, let's talk to him tomorrow.
All right then. How about tomorrow? We'll stop in for dinner, get Mom a little liquored up, and persuade them to be thinking about this plan.
Okay,
Okay.
I will join you.
All right, you guys relax. This place is almost like a hacienda. It's a square, almost like a Roman type thing where you got the square, a building around a large courtyard in the middle. There's nice tiles. There's some stone table with chairs. There's some trees with swaying in the wind and some grass, of which Sildren, before going to bed, communes a bit, meditates a bit next to the tree, one of the few he can actually relax with here in the city. You guys each have your own rooms. They're really nice rooms, very cozy and comfortable. Probably the nicest rooms you've been in for many, many months. And anything you guys want to do before we hit the morning time?
yeah, let's talk some.
All right.
Jix wants to
More
fiddle with his magic
talking.
sling.
Oh, Sildren! Every time!
Let's have some words.
You guys gathered. It's late. Everyone else is asleep. If you need to scream Chumley, he will, of course, wake up at any time you need to. But it's just you guys. You're awake. You're in the courtyard, and
Yeah, we
people are-
took we stole the Endemore's little bell that he has for Charlie. We just in case we need it.
Yes, Sildren.
So it would be very simple for, I think, myself to handle Senator Greer with a few spells, with a few tricks up my sleeve to convince him that the wolf is on his way back. I would
Good
just
idea.
need a night to prepare some specific things. And we have several other avenues to pursue. Which ones are we going to go after?
Well, I mean, I don't think we need any money at the moment. So you're thinking you want to go to the bathhouse in the morning? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I can. I mean, that would be
We
almost.
should all go.
I think that
might
would
be
almost
a little weird.
be easy. Yeah, I could. It's something I feel I could handle by myself.
What about this Long Pier place where House Nakor is hanging out? We've got this banner, or do we want to wait a couple days on that and get something more prepared?
No, talking to this gang leader, seeing what's happening there should be pretty high on our priority list. So, Brenros, I know there's things you want to do in the city.
There are a few things, and if I may, and with all due respect to the Queen, to the King rather, the Queen's business is foremost in my mind as well. Now remember, there's still one chalice remaining.
Oh.
There is. It is not close to where we are, but there is one more.
But you asked my opinion. I'm not much for subterfuge. I carry shield and blade and am armored. Not much for sneaking about, nor do I like the idea of donning these robes of these unlifers, these necromancers who wander about and casting their spells. I abhor it, and I will not be thrilled to partake in that. However, their dispatching would thrill me greatly.
See? This was my idea. Sildren, talk me down if you've heard this before already. But my thought was that we would give a message to Grier, and we would say, mission accomplished, courtesy of the Grey Wolf. And he would get the message that the Grey Wolf did what he thought he was supposed to do, but it was like an all mixed idea. We gave the message to the wrong guy, right? Like it was something that was supposed to go to House Vass or House Nakor. And then he would think that we were trying to talk to somebody else, but he intercepted the message, and now he's all clever and he's got stuff and he has to take it back, but he can't hold secrets, right? He's very bad at holding secrets. So he's going to get all nervous. He's going to start sweating, and everyone's going to be like, what's wrong with you? And he'll be like, I don't know. There's a Grey Wolf and they killed things and I'm supposed to know about it, but they were supposed to tell me. He's going to freak out and we're going to win.
Is he a gnome like you, Jenner?
I don't, yes, no, I don't know. I don't know.
So my thought was this: we
Just the calmness versus panicness difference.
Greer, I believe, can be frightened into compliance with voting for the Grey Wolf. The banner and perhaps our other resources could be used with the Matterson trade warehouse. There's something going down with House Nakor there. If they believe that House Vass has disrupted that through either the banner or the yellow robes, either leaving two of their actual people there, that they will be able to identify, which would be, I think, more effective than us dressed in robes, and it would please Sir Brenros as well, and raid the Matterson trade warehouse, cause damage, leave the yellow robes behind along, perhaps they have a banner as well, and our work can be started here, and then perhaps within another day we can be on our way to, is it Searwood, I believe, that the last chalice is believed to be in. We can cause damage here and then be on our way.
Question. Where do we get a couple yellow robe guys? They're not the easiest to take out, if I remember correctly, from the foamy trumpet.
We've seen them looking for Iggy, and
should we use Iggy as bait? Yes.
Yeah.
He seems willing enough participant, I believe, but yes.
Sildren, would you not think it wise to stake out the bathhouse for a few hours before your task?
Yes, I do.
Perhaps in the morning time now we can handle this more martial task while you and I stake out the bathhouse.
That could work as well, yes.
I know you can handle it yourself, but I would hate for you to need backup and not have it.
The plan should be not very confrontational and very just a short message delivered to Greer and then be on my way, is how I will envision it playing out. And I'm sure it will go smoothly.
All the best.
Nobles and senators, they don't. They're of many faces. So I would be very careful. We don't know the measure of this man.
That is fair.
If your magics fail you, do you have a backup? Another way?
I am I should
you
be
in the back.
resourceful
You in the
enough.
back.
Yes. I should be resourceful enough to be able to extricate myself from a bathhouse.
Remember, people learn the most from stories, so have a good story in mind. Make sure that he's the hero of the story and not the villain, so he can relate to what you're trying to say, but in this process of doing so, he's the one that knows that it is all up to him.
Right.
See?
Well said. Well said.
You guys done for the night?
Jess wants to try and...
Yeah, don't you guys have some shit to identify?
Jix
Yes.
wants to attune his magic sling or something like that.
Oh, you have to identify what it is.
Yeah.
That's what you need to do.
Put it on like a jock strap and...
Start slinging around. Yeah, Jix, you can
Little
try
helicopter
to.
action.
Are you trained in Arcana, Jix, or Occult?
Stand by. Arcana. Yes.
You are trained. Actually, I have your stats right in front of me. Where are you, Jix? You have Arcana. Yeah, you got a nice one looking there, Jix. I will make a roll. You spent some time analyzing this and trying to uncover and really focus your attention on this and throw some stones around and accidentally break a vase in your own private room. But after about 10-15 minutes, you're able to identify this item, and it is called a caterwaul sling. And I'm dropping it into the group section right now. This is a sling that is a +1 striking sling. So it's +1 to hit, and it does double dice of damage, which bumps you up to, I think, a huge 2d4.
What?
But more importantly, once per day for 2 actions, you can pull a white thread free and whirl the sling in circles at high speed. It lets out an ear-piercing wave of sound, and every creature in a 30-foot cone, which is really wide for a cone, takes 46 points of sonic damage.
Whoa.
Damn. Okay.
And they get a chance to make a save, and if they also fail that save, they're
Jeez, who are you? The Portland PD? Shit.
I put it in. Where did it go?
Topical.
I grabbed it and put it on my character, and then it disappeared.
Inventory.
Might be in like items or something
Did I
instead
not
of
do
what
it right?
actions.
Actions.
Oh,
Party to Jix.
geez.
Inventory.
I'll drop another one. I cannot drop another. I gotta go find another one.
Grab it.
This is why you cannot have nice things. Jesus.
Right here. Right here.
All right. There's a fresh one in the party group window.
Okay. I'm gonna.
Drag that to inventory.
Yes.
Try not to
Delete
drop it.
again.
Take 2. Looks like it did the same thing. Caterwaul sling.
JKL.
It's under C. Caterwaul sling.
Oh, C. Yeah, it's there.
Oh my God.
Oh, okay.
And then you need to Oh my god, I gotta drag. Where's your sling right there? I'll make a quick adjustment here. I'll put a caterwall.
While he's doing
I
that,
can change it in my actions. It's all right.
Jix, can you create 2 of those disguise potions for me for tomorrow?
In the morning, I can.
How many can you create total?
All right, raise your hand if you want a sneaky Steve for in the morning.
A sneaky.
I'll take 2 sneaky Steves, please.
There's 2. Anyone else?
I was thinking more of a type of elixir that you could make that would fit a couple of my arrows for a poison. I don't know if that would work.
I'll think on that one. 2 sneaky Steves. Okay, yeah.
That's
Anyone else?
a tangy Tanya is what you're looking for.
And then Tom, there's a robe and 2 rings, which Sildren recovered from the mage
All right.
in the sewer.
So Jix, I've updated your weapon. It now
I see
does
that. Thank you.
2d6 damage and has the +1 built into
Okay.
there.
Yeah, awesome.
I think it has it. Hold on. Bonus.
All coming apart.
Nope. Hold on. Not there. Delete it. And now, oh, that's damage. Should be right. +1. I'm not sure why it's not showing. This is thrilling podcast content we're doing right now. Oh my goodness.
Mark, edit, move on.
Yeah, we don't have a mark anymore. 2. It's not showing the bonus. Is it 13? Oh wait, it's showing the bonus. Yeah, there it is. +12. You're good.
Yep.
Okay, Jace is done. You're going to look at something else, some robes you said, Sildren?
Yeah, I have a robe and 2 rings from the mage in the pit where the spirit guardian dude was.
All right, Sildren, you easily identify those as +1 robes. So they are robes that can be used and give a +1 armor class to whoever wears them. Robes have no armor class on their own, but
Yeah.
it is.
I know. I'm
it is
wearing
rare.
them, and they're
I don't,
You're not
I
very
don't, I don't know anybody who might be able to use them.
Can you just throw a bunch of those on and just have the +1?
Yeah.
+1?
It's like that episode of Friends when when Joey puts on all of Chandler's clothes.
That was a Friends reference in the middle of the podcast, everyone.
Rings. I have a couple
The
rings.
one ring you cannot identify and unlock no matter how much you try. The other you do identify as a powerful ring of fire resistance.
I need that.
What this does? No, everyone else in the party needs this.
Why do you need
Duplication spell, anybody?
Jeez. What this does is it gives you a flat, permanent 5 resistance to fire. So anytime you take damage, 5 is taken off. There's no halving or anything like that from other role-playing systems. So if you only take 5 damage, it's completely eliminated. That is the Ring of Fire Resistance.
Okay.
I'm dropping that into the group.
This ring feels
A
evil.
bunch of group hands are going for it right now.
And I'll flip the other ring that I couldn't identify to Xander. I can't make heads or tails of this. Can you take a look at it, Xander?
It's a loop. Let me look.
Xander, I've got your Arcana as +7.
To the Ring of Fire Resistance, I flip to Iggy.
Oh,
You might find benefit of this.
I'll take it.
Xander gives a thumbs up.
Can we do like a Cinderella
And I
ring
cover
test?
Xander in the robes.
So do I drag it into my inventory or I drag it into the chat?
Into your inventory.
Inventory.
I'm also looking for convenient and consistent shield repair as it comes.
Yeah, you
whenever
can.
it's
There's
available.
there's a lot of blacksmiths. Just need to find one, or just
No, that's the shop's name, Convenient and Consistent Shield Repair.
now with drive-through service.
Chain.
Yes.
Xander, you work on trying to identify this last ring, and its secrets elude you. You go to bed, you wake up 10 minutes later, and like, no, if only I could, and you cast a little prestidigitation, nothing. You go to bed, and then you wake up 15 minutes, what if only, and then you finally do unlock it, because you barely got the success you needed. And you have found a ring of the ram. This ring of the ram, thought it had a requirement on it. I don't see it on here. Ring of the ram. What you do is you spend one action, and you can do this only once per minute, so once per battle. You spend one action, and a ram-shaped blast of force slams into one foe within 60 feet. You can spend multiple actions, 1, 2, or 3 actions, and it deals 2d6 points of force damage per action spent, and it pushes the target 5 feet per action spent, and they get to make a fortitude saving throw.
Whoa.
It's a powerful level 6
That's
item.
pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
I just dropped that in there.
Can I see that, Xander?
Got a little thing on it here.
Children, I got something for you.
Give it to Idrisyl.
Please? I was quiet, but please.
Jix hands Sildren. How do I do this? Jix hands Sildren a scroll.
I can't really use this, but maybe it's something that you can do something with.
Is this scene is indicative of Halloween and everyone's dumping their candy on the floor?
Yeah. You got it there in the party sheet.
Yep.
Dix drops a scroll of remove paralysis into your hands.
I just have.
What was the
It says
cost
you-
for repairing the shield, and how much of the shield gets repaired?
Good question. We made a house rule for that, and
I need to mark it down, actually.
that's all right. I've got the answer for you. We have a house rule because your shield takes a beating, and it has its own hit points, but it doesn't heal normally. Repairing your shield, you can repair up to half its broken threshold in a day for a gold. You can repair all the way up to its broken threshold in 2 days for 2 gold. And if you ever blow past the broken threshold, like you really had to block a big blow, then it costs more beyond that. 3 to 4 days and 5 gold at most is the most it'll ever cost. So really, 1 or 2 gold, 1 or 2 days, half to a full of its broken threshold.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. You guys good with all those items?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Let's talk about the Ring of the Ram here.
Swords are drawn again.
People squaring off in the courtyard. Well, I'm done here. I'm going to bed.
So,
It doesn't have to be a caster to use it, right?
correct. It can be
Yeah.
anybody.
That's pretty amazing.
The only magic items I have are defensive. My bracers, and he holds up his bracers of missile deflection.
And hides the dark Akron bow.
And your
Yeah.
badass bow.
yeah. Pretty much one of the most potent.
Magic. It doesn't have a sonic boom or anything attached to it. Just a +1.
My only thought was that Sildren has a fairly low damage potential in general. That would give him a little bit of like an oh shit button, but
You've got that one offensive spell ready. That's it.
yeah. But that's okay.
You can have it if you want it. I don't care.
Well, I mean, but I am a healer too, so I'm not too.
So
You
it's a single action. It's got a range of 60 feet, and it can deal 2d6 of force damage
Per action.
per action spent. So you could spend all 3 actions and do a huge amount, or just one little bit, and it's got a once per minute frequency. It's a huge ring.
And I do have something that gives me an extra action, so I could do 4 actions.
With haste, yeah.
Sildren, you should try this.
But haste won't let you do that. Haste is only good for moves or strikes.
Oh well, isn't that a strike?
No, strike is striking with your weapon.
Okay.
Wipe the drool off your lips.
And then if I triple haste,
But you can still.
And then fleet foot, and then long stride. Okay.
Sildren grabs the ring.
And I will
Good.
give it to Idrisyl. Maybe we can trade it back and forth.
I'll give it a go.
That
And,
never works. I'll hold the Nintendo console for today. Never works.
We'll see. Yeah.
Let's go to bed. We got
All
a
right.
big day tomorrow.
Sildren, you feel good about helping out distribute items and ID them. You try and get some sleep. It's a little weird because the bed is so cozy and fluffy with gorgeous blankets and gorgeous pillow, and you like more of the outdoor camping, but you try and get cozy. It just doesn't quite work.
Yeah, I'm
But
like
you-
sleeping on the floor by the end of the night.
Yeah, you sleep on the floor and you dream of fields with animals that you're caring for and big wolves and small fawns and petting them in this little Disney type moment. Meanwhile, Idrisyl goes to bed excited he's got this ring, and you go to sleep and you dream of slaughtering deers with awesome shots and slaughtering wolves with awesome shots. You've got Bambi dead slung over your shoulder, and in your dream you walk into a hunting lodge, only to find that the inside of this hunting lodge looks a little different in your dream than you expected. Inside this hunting lodge, you find it very well decorated inside. It has a big fireplace that's made of marble. It's darkish inside with 2 high-backed chairs and a small table next to them. And you see there is a stylish man with glasses and a long mustache in your dream sitting in one of the chairs looking at you as you lower down this kill that you made in your dream and are confused.
Who's dreaming?
Idrisyl.
What was that? I'm so confused.
You are in your dream. You're dreaming about this guy and you're dreaming about this scene. You don't know what's going on. And this little image you've created inside your own mind, this guy with glasses and long mustache says, "Would you care to join me, Idrisyl?"
I don't think so.
We have something to speak of, you and I.
What could that be?
Come, have a drink with me. He points to the little table where there's 2 glasses filled with red wine, as well as a beautiful crystal flask with some bright blue liquid inside.
Idrisyl reaches for the glass, and before he knows it, he's already sitting at the table with it in his hand.
All right. I apologize for this intrusion. It's not regular. I am from House Relmar. We are known for our ability to weave magic to our benefit. And I thought it prudent to reach out to you this evening. I hope I'm not too disturbing of your rest.
Something seems to be keeping me quite at ease. But why me?
He sips from his drink. Well, we were recently approached by members of another house, a house who feel you have wronged them greatly. House Vass, to be specific. And while House Relmar has no quarrel with you or your allies, as there are strict rules we have for conflict and speaking the truth, certain members are not above seeking you out and providing that information to House Vass. And when another house reaches out and offers us considerable compensation to put our magic to use to find wherever you and your allies are in this city, that has gathered some attention. He takes another sip.
Idrisyl holds his stare and takes a small drink of his own. Are you privy to such bait?
I would like to think not.
then what can I do for you?
Well, somewhere hidden in this city is a key. A key in both size and composition, unlike any key ever known. And this key is very valuable to a wizard like myself. This key unlocks the power of a nexus point here in the city. And it has come to my understanding that today, you, Idrisyl, have recently laid eyes upon a marker that shows where to find this key.
How would I know what to look for, not being from within these walls?
My magic has revealed to me your gathering of this information, of where this key to the Nexus can be found. I just cannot see what that information is. And a reminder, if you do not know House Romar well, I am bound to tell you truth in a conversation of dealings, though I understand that you are not. I would suggest, if you have trust, as this is merely a dream, for you to drink this. And he points to the blue drink in the crystal flask. And then I know that I can trust in your words.
Idrisyl stares at the bigger flask, still holding his own. What assurances could you give me that your intentions are for the betterment of this city and not just your house?
I would not be able to honestly tell you that that is the case. What I am offering is not of benefit to the city, but a benefit to you. If you tell me where to find the Nexus key, if you swear to me you and your allies will not in any effort make to find it, then I will not only stop my own house efforts to locate you for House Vass, but I can further obscure your whereabouts in the magical realm from anyone else attempting to find you through magic. That is the deal that I am offering. A drink of the flask. I will believe your words, and I will trust your agreement to leave the key to us, and then you will have your protection.
Idrisyl stares more longingly at the glass as it appears to get shinier and shinier, sort of in the hue of his magic. He takes his cup and he empties it, and he reaches over towards the bigger flask and he grabs it and he takes it towards his own cup, and he goes further past the cup and he pours it on the floor, and he leans in real close. We may be in your illusion, but this is still the king's city, and he will have his day.
You are a fool. And the house collapses, and you wake up startled and slightly out of breath back in your room in the Elderbrook estate.
Benali! Sildren?
Did you say Vanali?
He did.
What?
Wait.
He was looking for her. Sildren!
What is it?
She wasn't
What?
around, so Sildren.
Sildren, Brenros! Everyone!
If Brenrose hears his name calling, he comes running.
All right, there's a sword and shield and a naked old man at your door.
Idrisyl,
How's that different than normal?
Idrisyl, kind of in a cold sweat, just relays back to them what happened. I think I had one of Sildren's dream. I thought I was having a dream like Sildren's, but it was someone else's making. House Realmar is looking for us. They know we're here. And they know who we are.
Another house to worry about now.
And did they give us a way out that...
Nope, nothing. There was no ultimatums, no anything.
No way we could have avoided trouble with these people.
No single choice to save the city versus saying, no.
Okay, good to know.
Should not risk staying with the Endemore any longer.
This should be our last night.
Puts his estate in danger.
This should be his last night. Our last night staying with him.
Should we even stay this night?
We do have work to do. And I'm not sleeping anymore.
What time is it?
It is 1 a.m. in the morning.
Well, that's fine for a half elf, but the rest of us need to sleep to get all of our hit points back.
Yeah. There is some more preparation that I think most of us will take. Spend the night here, and then we complete what we intended tomorrow, and then be on the way.
According to Idrisyl, they know we're here. Is it not prudent to move elsewhere in the middle of the night? I know it disrupts your sleep, but
If
the
they
safety of those involved.
if they know we were here, won't they
I'm getting
know
my
where
armor.
to go next?
I don't know. I'm not a wizard.
He offered me protection from their magics in lieu for the name and location of people knowing where the king is.
No, the Nexus ring. Not
He
the
wants-
Nexus key. Nexus key, sorry.
He wants to know how to get the Nexus key.
What is the Nexus key?
I remember 1.3 miles west, 1.3 miles northwest.
He sleeps entering.
Sleep
Thank God
Xanner,
he doesn't-
Jesus.
He's the only gnome whose sleep casts.
Oh, fireball.
Acid arrow.
He's speaking of the marker then.
He wanted the location on the marker in the pit that we fell into. I told him to sod off.
Sir Brenros is getting his armor and girding back up.
All right, you are girded.
Speaking
And,
of which,
we'll be going to the windows to kind of look out on the property and just keep an eye out for the remainder of the day.
All right.
what they were looking for, it is the vault in the temple of Mansilla, something of that nature. And we must speak his mantra to open the doors. Do we know that mantra?
Was in the
That's a
notes.
good
Yeah.
question.
Well, what the information we had was 1.3 miles, as Xander alluded, sleepingly. 1.3 miles due west from this marker lies a nexus point. 1.3 miles
nexus point.
west by northwest from the nexus point is the vault with the key. The vault lies within the temple. Speak his mantra to open the doors.
And that's off the top of your head.
Jeez, yeah. Everyone who's awake may make a religion roll.
Yeah, Jix is not awake.
No,
Alright.
Ignal's nowhere near awake.
Okay.
He doesn't know what the fuck you guys are talking about anyways.
A 24 for Brennan.
Xander just drools a 20-sided die out of his mouth.
A total of 20.
a 18 for.
We needed higher than a 22. We have 18,
24 for Brenros.
Sir Brenros. Brenros, you do not know that mantra, but you do recognize the name as some sort of older god. Your best idea for finding it in any way, especially dealing with old gods and information, is to go where information is kept about gods.
Carahel.
Yep.
Temple of Carahel. That is the only place that makes sense to find out such things.
At the name of the Temple of Carahel, Idrisyl his ears kind of droop a little bit.
And
For killing.
now that we know this other house is, they offered a lot for this. I feel like we should probably be the ones to be in possession of it to keep it safe, yes?
The Temple of Carahel would surely protect us if we were seeking knowledge there.
We have to get
Perhaps offer us
key first, yeah?
Well, I believe Sir Brenrose is suggesting we travel to the temple tonight, research, and then be on our way in the morning, yes?
I am suggesting such a thing.
Keep in mind, if you do not get a full night's sleep, you will not recover spells. For those of you who have expended spells, or Jix, you need your time as well to rest, to do your daily preparations in the morning. And you will also all gain Fatigued 1, so -1 armor class, -1 to all saving throws.
Let's not do that.
Jix is sleeping. He's not awake to do that.
Jix is getting his damn potions in the morning!
Well, Idrisyl will turn to, I guess it's just the three of them, Sildren, Brenros, and Idrisyl now.
Yeah.
Shall we go to the temple first light?
It seems that would be prudent. Try to get the information we need. Kill a couple yellow-robed priests, scare a senator, disrupt the Mearscon trade warehouse deal, and then be on our way.
That easy.
In 20, 30 minutes, I think. It shouldn't be much longer than that.
Done.
Just need to separate every one person do one thing, and I think we're all good.
Well, when you suggested the bathhouse, I was like, Idrisyl will do that. That's a good 2-people mission. We can do that. It's not as awkward. So yeah, Idrisyl will try to go back to sleep, and is like,
Yeah. All right.
reading back and forth.
However, Sir Brenros is not so eager to go back to sleep after tonight's ominous interlude, so he will be staying up and walking about the house, checking the windows and the doors, and just keeping an eye out, probably off of a balcony through a window, and just keeping an eye out for the remainder of the morning.
Well, while you are caring for the house and its protection, unfortunately, you also have to be cared for if you are up and about. There's a house rule, and Chumley is not allowed to sleep if any guest is out and about. So he is also just sleepily just checking on you every 15
Chumley,
minutes.
you are Fatigued 1.
No, my saving throws.
I think it's going to be at least Fatigue 2 or 3 for Chumley.
He's always
And for no reason, Brenros is just like the 3 in the morning. Chumley! Chumley! Just waking him up. All right. You guys wake up in the morning, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, with a Sir Brenros who is Fatigued 1, who's kept an eye out. There has been no assaults upon this estate. Brenros, you have thought longingly during this night of your own house that your Night Order keeps here in this city. Your order is not based here in Mearscon, but they do have a house, kind of like pilots who have their airline have a
Crash
house,
pad.
a crash pad, so, a couple apartments or a house, or that you have that here. That
Chinese
might be,
pilots.
yeah, that might be a little more defensible.
Okay.
But that was just something that came to mind. You guys are all up. You're having breakfast, and Lord Yendamore is there at the big breakfast table, and he says, "So you have some big plans, yes? Oh, you know what? I remember that might be of use to you. I have a marker for the Waterfalls bathhouse. It's a guest marker for 3."
Ooh!
Where'd you get all this stuff?
Well, I told you I have membership there, right? A golden membership. I'm allowed passes for guests.
And this one
Xander.
lets you get 2 more punches in a free bath.
And it's really hard. It's made of stone.
What
but-
time?
And I have a
will-
pack of robes, too, you really want if you're going to go there. Here. And he gives you a backpack with the marker and 3 white robes and slippers.
Okay. Sildren basically just does the 1 robe and takes the marker.
Oh,
Do those
Actually,
do those
Xander.
robes are they similar at all? Other than they're white, are they similar at all to the yellow robes that? They
No,
show?
these are big, fluffy, indoor, cottony, get out of the
These are
shower
bathhouse robes,
Yeah.
buddy.
Not something I can piss on and pass off as a yellow robe.
Well, you can piss on it, but not pass off as a yellow robe now.
So, my thought is, what time does Senator Greer get to the bathhouse in the day? Do you know?
You ask of Lord Yendamore?
Yes.
Oh, I would say just 2-3 hours past sunrise.
Very good. And Xander, I believe that we still have some shards and some information that one of our colleagues was looking for. Yes.
Phineas, yes.
Yes. Perhaps you
Right
could.
here.
Perhaps you could visit Phineas while someone visits the Temple of Carahel. I will visit the bathhouse. We'll all get back together and then go deal with the Matterson Trade Warehouse. How does that sound?
I said, look, I have a quest. I have a quest.
That sounds good.
Is this something he's going alone as?
Perhaps somebody should go with him, Iggy.
Yeah, I'll go with you.
Iggy, we have a
There's
quest.
beer there. Remember the little beer table? Yeah.
Jix, would you be able to escort me to a weaponsmith in town somewhere?
Yeah, I know a guy.
Let's do that while they do that.
Ignal, I'd be mindful of Xander. He's been a little edgy as of late. Very eager to seem to pick and poke. Just a word of warning.
I've seen.
Not as even-headed as you.
Well, that's the first time that's been said. Thank you. But yes, I will keep a close eye on him, and I'll give him a good kick in the behind if he needs it.
All right, so Iggy and Xander, you're going to Phineas Tumblepot's workshop, is that right?
Correct.
Alistair and Jix, you're going to a weaponsmith, and Sildren, you're going to the Waterfalls bathhouse?
Before Sildren leaves, I hand
need
him
those
a cup.
sneaky Steves.
Yeah. I made you some fresh sneaky Steves here this morning. Hold on.
Sounds like something you shouldn't drink at a club without a friend nearby.
That's correct.
There's one. There's
You order
two.
the sneaky Steve, you get the
All right.
escort out to your car.
2 sneaky Steves. That's 2 gold pieces, please.
You're charging him?
Oh,
You can,
That's the friends and family discount.
you can get me later. It's fine. It's fine.
Uh-huh. Speaking of which,
He doesn't cast heal on you the next 5 battles.
yeah, yeah. There's a backlog of healing.
you're checking your tab book. Where is he at? Oh, no heal today.
Oh,
Sorry.
I give Iggy 15 gold and 3 silver from our collection that was just laying strewn about in the
This
bottom
is
of
on
the
the
well.
floor.
Yeah.
Is this from that lockbox that Xander has?
What? What? No,
we-
I don't have. What? No, that's not.
No,
Hey, look.
this we just found on the floor. So yeah.
What about
so-
that lockbox that Xander has.
I don't even remember that
Xander?
lockbox anymore. I don't think I've been carrying it for like this whole time. It's not heavy.
Let's go ahead and crack that puppy open.
Oh, okay. It's where is
It's
it?
empty. What happened?
Magic. Yeah. So, Xander does open it. I don't have those things anymore.
Where was this from again? I'm looking at
This
my
was
notes.
a Billions. This is a Billions place. There was a box that we got when we went to get the first chalice from Nakan.
Oh my goodness.
It was.
I believe
it was
it was
Nakan's house.
79.
I thought that box was open.
It was open, but
Yeah, it was never distributed.
70. I have 75 gold from the
75
con.
gold from Nakan. Yeah. Look at all that, you guys.
All right, cool. So
Divided
split
by
six
six, that's-
ways.
12 gold, 5 silver.
Yeah.
Good. You're
So
good.
nice to finally have some of this separated out and
I'm happy to share. I'm a sharer. We
everybody
share now.
getting what they need and deserve.
And
I have
Brenro's
way
just
too
feeling
much money.
guilty. Yeah, I was going to
know.
say, just feeling guilty with so much money on him.
I gave the temple people all my money, and now I've got like 12-fold of it. Oh,
It's the prosperity gospel.
It's the rule of
Yeah,
tide. They
so-
knew it.
Yep.
You should have seen it coming.
Brenros, where were you headed? I don't have anything logged for you this morning.
Someone was mentioning the Temple Carahel at some point. That is definitely a big plus. He would absolutely like to get his shield repaired.
Okay, let's do shield. All right,
So
shield
he has
repair.
He has to wander.
Does he
off.
have to go to Armorsmith for that? Because he can come with
Probably
us.
Yeah,
Yeah, he'll come with you
with,
guys.
Okay, yeah.
Come with you guys. All right, you guys break and jump cut to tonight. Only 3 of you come back alive. No,
That many? I figured this plan would get at least 4 of us killed.
we
Minimum.
have Iggy, Xander, and Sir Brenros. Alistair, Jix, and Sir Brenros. Alistair, Jix, and Sir Brenros at a blacksmith who deals with some of the more challenging stuff of weapons and armor protection. Brenros, you want to get him to fix it? Do you need to fix the half or the full of your broken threshold?
I'm half of my threshold, so
You're at half. Okay, so that's
A day
1
and
gold. 1 gold in a day.
Mm-hmm.
And he will get you a loner shield. Do you have the stats of the loner shield, or do you need those?
you could. It's yeah. Give me the stats of the weapon.
Okay. Loner shield is hardness 5, broken threshold 10. It's garbage compared to yours. What is your steel? What is your awesome magic shield's hardness?
Wait, you said it was a hardness 5 and a break of 10?
10,
Threshold
yes.
10? My full shield is hardness 10 and a break of 48.
So that is a ton of damage absorbed compared to this other one. All right, so you've got that one going. Make sure you pay the money. You can pick it up in a day. Alistair, what were you looking for?
Idrisyl hands him my Okram bone, just asks him to like retwine it a little bit and get it all nice and prepped. And then he also leans into the guy. Do you happen to sell whips at this establishment?
Yeah, of course.
What are you and Vanelli planning?
Props. Leather.
He hears Sildren in his mind. Like, what is this going Idrisyl would like to examine some of his whips and possibly
Some of his, he takes you
has
to the
different
whip
types.
room,
Here's the
the dungeon.
There's a horse whip. There's
He has a whip that he can sell you. It's only 1 silver. It does minimal damage, 1d4 damage, but you can disarm it even if you don't have a free hand, because the whip is good at that. It does non-lethal damage. And what else did I want to share about the whip? It can reach further, and you can make a trip roll without having to have a hand free. So that's the benefits for it.
Idrisyl's going to go ahead and purchase a whip.
All right, you have a whip. I am nervous just a little bit about this, and I don't know
What'd you
why.
say? 1 silver? 5 silver?
1 silver.
He's clearly got a plan.
1 silver.
So Jigsaw's a question about the black adder venom.
Yes.
So typically that'd be something I put on a melee weapon or have someone put on a melee weapon. It's good for 3 rounds to enhance the weapon. If I were to give some to Idrisyl,
Idrisyl is screwed with those.
okay, that's kind of what I thought. It wouldn't be a thing where like he could just pour it on his bows and it'd be good for 3 rounds.
Let's do a house rule. And they say when you make ammunition or consumable things like potions, you get 4. Let's say that if you apply the poison to Idrisyl, it'll apply to 4 arrows.
Okay.
And that way he can... No, shoot, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Because the poison is so dangerous. No, Idrisyl would only get it to apply to 1 arrow. The problem is if he misses, it's gone. Whereas if a sword misses, it can keep trying until it connects. So yeah, unfortunately, it just won't work.
Well, yeah, because I was just thinking along the lines of the oil of potency. If it could do the same thing with the arrows
Not quite the
specifically.
No, but the oil potency can be applied to the bow because it's a magic, but not your bow because your bow is already potented up as high as it can get. I am looking at Jix's potions. He has renamed them all. There is no longer an alchemy fire. Oh my God, it's fantastically named. We're going to hear some fun names.
We've got mouse milk, nut pincher,
Nut
Stiffy
pincher?
juice. Yeah.
Stiffy juice.
We've got don't
Zoom
be a hero.
Zoom. I want to know what Zoom Zoom does.
Don't
Warning,
be a
not valid.
hero,
Minnesota
grumpy
or
tummy.
Maine.
Is there a physical slot for whips in this?
What do you mean? You need it on your sheet?
I'd like to be able to see it
Inventory.
and roll them D4s.
Yeah. Items. Let me see if I can put it on here fast.
Yeah, just so you don't have to be like, hey Tom, is it a D4? Is it a...
Yeah, totally. Where are you? I'm trying to find you. There you are. Here. Come on.
Chat wants those names, Tim. Chat wants the names.
Do they? All right,
They
hold
do.
on.
Oh, you need to keep that back for.
It's up to you.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Sorry.
I like that idea.
Pull,
I like that
pull
idea.
those out when you.
Yeah,
Dole
those
them-
are
dole
those are
them
your
out.
blue mists. You got to hold on to them.
Thank you.
Sorry, Chad.
Overruled.
There you go. Oh, and it does use dexterity. That's pretty handy for you.
Yeah.
See if that works. Okay.
Cool.
Meanwhile, we have our other friends, Iggy and Xander. You knock on the door at Phineas Tumblepot's workshop.
Beep and I, Phineas!
And you actually pull. There's this deep bell sound, and you hear beep and I, hold on. And there's a big chunking sound, and this big metal door to his workshop starts to crank up and up and up and up and up. And inside is Phineas. He's got his crazy little goggles and wild hair, and he says, "Good morning, friends."
Good morning.
We did it! They didn't say we could do it. I told them we could do it. I said, we got to do it because Phineas is counting on us. And if he can't do it for Phineas, it can't be done. But I told him we would, and we did.
Woo! What did you do?
I got these. And I showed the Diluvian crystals. The Diluvian. These.
The Borean shards.
What did you call him? Danubrian?
I like his name better.
Danublian.
You found Dinobrian shards.
I did it.
How many do you share with him? All of them? He was expecting 2, maybe 3. You were able to recover 7, or at least Jix was able to recover 7, I believe. Didn't Jix?
I wish it was Jix. It was actually Idrisyl.
Oh.
Jix.
Can I have
lost his top
retroly
95
given those to
gold.
Xander while we have
Yeah.
this discussion?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
No,
I
he's
give
just
you
holding
the-
up empty hands.
I give them to the weaponsmith as collateral instead of 5 silver. No, I've given those to Xander.
All right, Xander, you handed them all over?
If that's
Yeah,
cool.
I'm
All
gonna
right.
hand them over.
Wow, come inside. That's amazing. I was expecting just a few of these. Oh, man, a man could do amazing things with Dinobrian shards this many. This will really help out.
What are you going to do with
What's the
them?
difference?
Well, I've got this robot here you destroyed. No, he says, I've got several different ideas. I'm thinking of something maybe in a watercraft. That would be really cool. Or maybe a super-powered balloon. I gave your goblin friend a balloon. What if there was one that could be powered to go? Doesn't that sound amazing?
Yes!
That sounds
amazing!
cool.
We need to do this! I want you to do your sciencey magic! What's this button do?
Don't touch that button!
Xander, don't touch.
Actually, I could use your help, Xander. I have a bit of an experiment. I have some, it's automatic blacksmithing. See that big piston? It comes down, and every time it comes down, I need you over there pressing that yellow button only exactly when it hits. Can you do that?
Yes!
Wonderful.
And Xander runs over and just stares.
All right. And when it comes down,
Just there.
he presses. Xander's occupied, and Tumblepot says, "All right, that button doesn't do anything. So what can I do for you?"
Very good. Well, I wasn't here for the exchange on what you needed these for or why we got them, but we got them for you, so...
I'm grateful.
Payment, or what was your deal with my group?
There were some sewer workers who passed along some information to an associate of mine, and he said there might be some treasure connected to what they had found. But I passed it along in return for the shards, but he passed it along to me in hopes that you were going to take notes and write down what was written. And
I'm sure that happened. I'm very sure that happened.
So if you would just present that, everyone will be happy.
I did it again!
You're doing great, Xander. Keep it up. Mr. Ignal, you have the notes?
Oh, you need the notes? Hey, Xander.
Yeah!
Come here for a second.
I gotta push the button!
Yeah, we'll come to you. Yes.
Oh, okay.
They come over to Xander.
Uh-huh.
You have some notes for this gentleman?
Yes. You went to the location, right? And there
we got the Debrulian crystals.
But there was a stone, a marker, notes, a diagram of what you saw. Remember? Easy. Do you have that?
Oh
Xander.
yeah, there was the
Xander. But I kind of pull Xander aside. Are we supposed to give him this? Is he fleecing us out of this information right now?
Iggy. You know better. Gnomes don't lie to people.
He lies.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he wanted this information because he's going to give it to the people who thought that it would be valuable for the guys.
The Arcanist Society.
That one, the Arcanist Society, because they need it for influence.
But wasn't this information what we talked about at breakfast? Idrisyl's dream, and one of the houses was trying to get this information. Should we just hand this out to a mad scientist?
I mean, you don't trust him?
I'm gonna tell him, not with this information that could potentially lead to a house getting a lot more powerful than they should be.
But what if they're the good house?
Let's pretend we don't have this information and we'll come back.
Phineas, we're gonna pretend we don't have the information to come back.
Okay.
Phineas, we don't have. We just put our notes together and we do not have everything.
You put your notes that you don't have notes.
You have your crystals.
Yes.
And we'll come back with the rest of the group with the other information you're looking for.
Excellent, wonderful. I can't wait.
Okay, good to see you. I'm gonna take one of your beers to go, and we will see you soon.
All right, a roadie, of course. And he
Yes.
sets you up. And off you go.
Can I push this one before I go?
Yeah! Jump back
The yellow, just the yellow one.
to Sildren. Sildren, you were headed to where?
The bathhouse. I'm going to be about a half hour earlier than what the senator would be expected to arrive.
The bathhouse is not far. It is in the upper class Thale district where you just spent the night at the Elderbrook estate. And you head to this bathhouse. It is a very cool looking building of stone with columns in this area, kind of around the colonnade district. There's a lot of column architecture as well, and it's got some stained glass windows. There's a picture of a wooden plank outside the hanging that has a waterfall on it with the word waterfall carved in big font into some of the stone. And you approach the front door 30 minutes earlier than you need to, and the door is open for you as you go in. It's a big, thick door, and a half-naked guy wearing a loincloth, and he's got kind of like that chubby, muscular build to his upper body. He nods as he opens the door for you to come in.
So before having gone in...
Too late! No, go ahead.
I had... part of what I was doing last night was memorizing shape wood, and I have
I bet it was.
Yeah.
Too many there.
And I
Rendezvous in the bathhouse.
you know it. I have basically duplicated one of the wolf pendant type things, just out of wood. So just basically a round piece of wood with a wolf's head on it.
Okay.
And I have that with me. I've taken a Sneaky Steve.
And what does a Sneaky Steve do for me again? For you?
I believe it will make me look slightly different than I am supposed to.
All right. So you look like a half-elf, but kind of a different half-elf.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I think it gives you like a +4 bonus to disguising, that kind of stuff.
Right.
Nice.
And I'm going to go in and I'm going to...
However, it only lasts, I believe, 10 minutes, so timing is important.
Correct. This is why we're half hour. And then I am going to try to find an attendant, somebody in charge, so on and so forth.
All right, and you're drinking the potion right before you go in?
Correct.
Okay, you drink the potion, you feel a slight warm feeling about your body, but you don't notice anything. You look at your hands, but everything seems normal. You have the door open for you, and in you come to a luxurious foyer, again with big columns, with white stone on the floor, and you are immediately hit by a warm warm, wet, humid air, and it's kind of reassuring and this natural vibe to it. You are also hit with a very strong smell of sandalwood and roses as well. You can hear some harp music playing in the background. It is just a delightfully refreshing experience compared to what you've been dealing with recently. A woman approaches you. She is a middle-aged lady who has, you can tell, spent a lot of time taking care of herself physically to look very sexy but proper at the same time. She is wearing kind of like those old Star Trek costumes the women would wear, you know, with like the skirt stuff with maybe the slits on the side type of a thing. You know, the professional nurses on the show, the original Star Trek. Yeah. Right. She's got that outfit on, and she glides across the floor. You can hear some water splashing off in the distance. There's several different branching corridors. There's big drapery things that are hanging and cordoning things off. It's a very interesting experience. She strides across and says, good morning, my friend. How may I be of service to you?
Good morning. I was actually hoping I might, that we might be able to help each other. There is a person who comes here regularly who I was hoping to speak with that I've unfortunately not been able to talk to through an official channel because of the business. I represent certain merchants who are hoping to stay anonymous and speaking to Senator Greer, and I basically palm up a platinum piece at this point. And was just hoping that you might be able to direct him to a specific room so I might speak with him for just a couple minutes.
She says, "Oh, that won't be necessary. I can see if a guest such as that would like to meet. Did you share your name?"
My name is Steve.
Ooh,
Steve.
exotic. How do you spell that? I assume there's unnecessary Y's and stuff inside of it.
Well, unfortunately, I was hoping that I might be able to just meet the senator just briefly, and again, he has been less than excited about meeting the merchants, but yet I feel it's very important, and there's 2 platinum pieces now.
She says, that won't be necessary. I don't recall you here. I assume you are not a member. We are a bit of an exclusive location, and perhaps you might need to know more about what we provide. I provide comfort and care for men and women of certain high caliber who enjoy a certain expectation of being taken care of in whatever way is necessary. And that also extends to a great deal of privacy. You are asking to remove or break such privacy to an esteemed member of this establishment, and that I cannot do. I am more than welcome to set you up with a bath of your choosing. We start at 15 gold, and there are many more services beyond that we can offer. But for me to provide you with a meeting with a senator, I believe you said, who has not an interest necessarily in speaking with you, I'm afraid that I cannot do. She makes a motion. You see to the side her big kind of muscular eunuch standing off to the side. He steps 2 steps to the left, and behind him is a 7-foot tall glass golem. It is a female construct that is made up of lead, covered in a layer of glass on the outside. It has arms that do not end in hands, but end in serrated glass sections, and it even has a weird coattail-like cloak that is made of glass that kind of flows bizarrely, magically, and it steps a couple steps into the room, but then just hangs there. It's still in the background of the room.
Well, perhaps I will just enjoy the bathhouse then, and I present the guest pass.
I have this coupon.
Give me my platinum back.
God, it's Walmart trash with his coupon. Okay, she takes the guest pass and she snaps her fingers, and the barrel-chested man comes over, and he says not a word, and takes you and guides you down a hall. You walk down a hall past some more hanging little cloth draperies. He goes down into an open doorway. It's getting really warm in here, bends around a tight little corridor, and takes you into your own private little space. It is about, it's about 20 foot by 20 foot. It has a slightly raised stone bath section for you to go into, and it inexplicably has above that bath a head of a lion with water just pouring down into this giant bath area. It's like a mini jacuzzi, square jacuzzi. It could easily fit 5 or 6 people. The air is warm, it's thick, it's even a little steamy in here. And he points to some cloths, some towels, and he points over to another side where there are some lotions and oils if you want to anoint yourself with such things. And he holds out his hands in front of you, both hands up, waiting for you to hand him something.
The loincloth. That'll be okay. Thank you, though.
He nods without saying a word and walks out.
I have another coupon.
A 2 for 1?
Where's the buffet?
I heard it was crab leg night.
You're every worst cruise guest ever.
Well, this isn't going quite as I had hoped, but
Can I have some more ketchup, please? Thank you.
I would like my steak well done and extra ketchup.
Are you getting cozy? Are you awkward and kind of standing there? Are you plotting something? What's happening?
No, I'm plotting. So I need to.
All right, you're plotting for a bit. We'll go to someone else.
Bathhouse alone. Plotting.
I'm still plotting. Hold on.
Anything else any of you would like to do?
How is Brenrose's shield doing?
It'll take a day, and he'll be ready tomorrow morning.
Okay. Brenrose, did you want to go towards the Temple of Carahel? Is that close to where we are?
Absolutely, but I feel this need for the bathhouse all of a sudden. Start marching that way. Yes, the Temple of Carahel is where Mr. Brenrose at least has some flash of a clue that might be there.
That's
all right.
That's in the colonnade?
That's in the colonnade. Colonnade's in the northeast part of town. It's where there's a lot of temples, and I think even a university is located there. Or maybe that might be Phil. But yeah, there's a lot of temples there. Jix, Alistair, and Brenrose, is that where you're headed?
That's where we're going.
Yes.
Okay. You guys head to that part of town. You pass temple after temple. You pass small shrines. There's tons of them everywhere. You have to kind of stop Sir Brenrose because he will bankrupt himself, dropping a gold into this little shrine to this forgotten god, a gold into this one. There's even like a god of the rats, and he's dumping like 3 or 4 gold. You're like, just hold on, dude. You pass by the giant temple.
I just start handing him fake like chocolate gold coins.
Yeah. You pass by the giant church of Selene, the biggest temple of them all. You pass by smaller ones, and then you approach the temple of Carahel. This is a large structure that is a little boxy. You had a similar temple in your small town of Edlin home. This looks like that same construction. It's a little bigger, and its architecture style is a little older. This is definitely an old place. And you approach. There are 2 double doors. Those double doors open with 2 adepts. And I'm getting a little just sad thinking about it. I know all the steps to go through here that we used to go through. It's just interesting. You come inside. An adept is there. He's got a simple white robe on with a simple white little sash, and he says, welcome to the archives of Carahel. Would you like to spend some time worshiping the lady?
We just need access to your library, if you would be so kind. And Idrisyl takes a few gold coins and drops them in the donation bowl.
Okay, whatever to him, that's not going to go so well.
Bowl or water, whatever the structure is.
That's already been tried tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, you drop how many coins?
I'll do 3.
All right.
3 gold coins. Is that okay? I don't know.
Sure, you drop. It's all.
I don't know what the going rate in the temple is.
He shows you a menu of godly options. Would you like to biggie size that, sir?
Suggested donation.
He says, well, I cannot guarantee. It's based on need and what level of the archives you will get access to. But let me help you begin. your journey of knowledge. And he takes you to the right, where you go through, each of you, into a small little chamber where there is a stone pedestal. On that pedestal is a bowl, and there is some holy water in there. And he says, if you would cleanse your hands before entering the archives proper.
Idrisyl does so, and then has like a foot on Jix, like keeping him back from running into the bath.
Okay. And he hands you a towel.
Do it as well.
And hands a towel to Brenros and goes to Jix.
Jix slowly parts his tunic or whatever he wears.
I'm a lifetime member.
Oh, I don't know what that is. We might be able to help with that. But would you please cleanse your hands for the goddess?
Yes, of course.
Sir, I have spent all evening and this morning consecrating the holy water for guests such as yourself. It would be my honor if you would cleanse your hands in the container.
In the water?
Yes. It is holy water.
Do you need help up, Jix?
You're holding him up like a kid at a drinking fountain.
Jix sniffs it.
It doesn't smell anything special to me.
Oh, I assure you, it is. And it is our custom that everyone who enters the archives is cleansed before they enter.
Hear that, Jix? A custom. Washing hands.
I mean, when in Rome, why not?
And Jix just like splashes his face in there and like,
oh my! Oh no! Just the
Consecrate that. Yes.
Oh. He looks all weirded out with his hair back. He actually looks normal, or does he look like a cat that's all wet and just looks incredibly thin and weird?
Super like
Eyes are 7 times the size.
Yeah. Right this way, gentlemen. And he brings you out of that chamber past a long hall where you see some strange dark shapes that are on the floor. That's a little disconcerting, but you walk past them and they don't do much of anything. And you were taken to a main chamber where there are some pews and some chairs. There is a big statue of the goddess Carahel. I liken her to Lady Justice, but no blindfold or anything, but a lady there with a big book in her hand, and it's a tall statue. There are a couple priests here and a couple local people here. They're quietly praying. Some are reading, but this is a little more of a spiritual spot. And you see there is a older, higher-ranking priest who waits for you guys to do what you need to do in this religious moment before he comes to attend to you. What do you do in this religious moment?
Idrisyl looks at the walls of the temple, is just looking around more at the decor and everything, and again is just kind of saddened for the long past loss of his friend.
All right, Brenros, you do know, you do have religion, and you are able to perform the correct rites and of respect to Carahel and knowledge. So you know the basics for these big gods for sure. And then Jix, what are you doing?
Just kind of like. Jix is just trying to be somewhat
Make a religion roll, Jix.
austere. Oh boy, here we go.
Make a religion roll.
Can I assist?
Luck points, hero points might be needed.
Here we go. My religion is -1,
Great.
so that's an 11.
Total of 11. All right. Jix tries to do some reading, but his book has a scratch and sniff on it that he's enjoying. And somehow it unfolds into a tri-panel picture of something, and he's
in the back clapping along to a hymn that's not happening.
After a bit of awkwardness and slightly loud disruptiveness, a priest comes over and he says, Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the archives. Young Adept had mentioned you were looking for some information. I am High Priest Norgaleth. How may I help you?
Those two over there.
Oh, yes.
Good day, priest. Yes, we are in need of some of the teachings from the archives of Gara. We're looking for information on a temple.
He says, why don't you come with me? And he takes you out of this main religious area and into a side area where you pass by, go down a hall, you pass by a doorway that is a big chamber, like, 150 by 150, that is loaded with desks. And there are just dozens and dozens and dozens of scribes there that are just copying one book to another book. Just tons of them. They just spend all their days and nights just copying books from one to another, duplicating these great pieces. You pass by another one and you see it's a slightly smaller room, but there are still dozens of illuminators that are putting on the artistry and essentially the graphic design on the outsides of different pages of books. There's this big operation on the next room, which you see there. It's a much smaller room. There are only 4 guys in here, but they're doing very delicate restoration of older books. And finally, this priest takes you to a final room where it is a couple tables that are empty, a couple desks that's well lit, and there are some chairs here. He says, this is one of our reading rooms, and if you can tell me about this temple you're looking for and tell me about whom you might be, I have access to what you may be seeking.
Brenros starts shuffling around some different notes that he has and comes up with the name of Mansilla.
He said, let me see, Mansilia. I have read that name before. And whom are you? You do not seem like our normal everyday worshippers.
No, but we are trying to find out about this temple to prevent a
friend of ours gave us a gift.
Yeah, Idrisyl will.
Yes.
Idrisyl will step in and just help. Brenros is just like, we've traveled very far on a quest. We call ourselves defenders of the realm, but truly we are just those.
We're really thieves.
Truly we are just seeking the betterment of society. We once had a wayfarer from Edland home named Killian with us, but he sacrificed himself for our cause. And it's led us here to seek this information from you now.
I am sorry to hear of the loss. I believe I have heard your name before as these defenders. That information, I believe, is certainly accessible to you. Please remain here, and I will search some of our upper archives for information about this. He leaves. He returns.
I was going to say, is there anything in this room that we can?
It is a windowless room.
Yeah,
it's very Spartan. They are not very comfortable. They don't have very comfortable lives here as priests of Carahel. And this is primarily a place for guests or people doing research, and no one else is here. He returns with a book. Lays it on this table. It's almost like a architect's table, kind of slanted, where you can read things. And Brenros, you have it before you, and it's a treatise on different gods. And you start going through it, trying to get some information. What are you looking for in particular?
The information that I have, singular in nature, is this reference of Mansilia. And so I will start pouring through this book to find that name.
Okay. You do so. As you are researching, Chris is biting his lip, it looks like. As you are researching...
You chose the bathhouse.
As you're researching, the High Priest Norgalith says, Sir Elf, and you, little one, perhaps you might like to come with me. And he motions for Jix and Idrisyl to come with him to give Brenrose some privacy.
You know, the last time that I was in a temple and someone asked me to come with them, they made me the king of the Hammerheads. So I don't know if you can top that, but what you got?
He said, well, it's best if I show you. I think you might find this comforting. And he takes the two of you out down a different corridor, past some more of the behind the scenes chambers. You see a room where there's a whole bunch of tables for them to eat, and there's a couple older priests that are eating. Past a room where there is some sort of pews there for their private worship. And then
we pass the scribes again?
No.
Okay.
Then he takes you into another room that has different banners and a lot of mosaics, and it has a lot of, it looks like, accomplishments that they've done that are on these different mosaics. There is a book, and it's got names in there of their different accomplishments and what they've done over the years. And in particular, he takes you over to a wall that has several urns on it with different people who are important to the church. On one of those urns, you see the name Killian Fennel, a plaque, as his remains are here at the Archives of Carahel here in Mearscon.
Idrisyl sees the plaque, and he takes a knee to honor his friend. Then he gets back up and he says, "You've done him a great honor. He would want to be with his people."
I'm glad you find comfort in this. From my understandings, it is you who have done a great honor for him, and we are grateful for his sacrifice, and we are glad to have him here with us once and for all.
Jex is feeling a lot of guilt. Jex is feeling a lot of guilt.
Listen, I don't know. I don't know who told you what. I don't know if we did anything for him. He did everything for us. But I don't know what we did for him.
Well, you are more than welcome here at the Archives of Carahel. The correspondence he sent, the book of Killian that we share now with new wayfarers, the few that we have, his experiences are passed along. And
do you happen to have a copy of this book that we may take with us to show our allies that he will not be forgotten amongst you?
I believe that can absolutely be arranged, yes.
Somebody starts copying out of Scribe's table really fast.
Meanwhile, Brenrose, you uncover some information about the old god you're looking for, and we will take our break there. And we will be back in just a few minutes. All right, we have Sir Brenrose going through this book, poring over it through the pages. It's been a while since you've done any kind of deep investigatory Michael Crichton-esque researching, going through things, and you flip past different pages about different gods that you haven't heard, different regions, something called Cthulhu. You just keep going through all these different places, and you finally come across a Mancilia. In particular, Mancilia is referenced as an old Chalorian god. You read up a bit about it, and it tells you that the Chalorians were a race similar to humans, but taller, that existed 2 ages back. So there was the Chalorian age, then there was the old Byzantine Empire, and now we're left with our current age that we are in now. In particular, this god Mansilia, his focus was on unraveling the great powers of the universe through magic. How can they figure the cosmos out, the cosmology of it all? Not just everyday stuff, but really unraveling the secrets to the universe. You see there are some addendums of not just nice old script in this book, but kind of scribbled off into the side. There's mention of his disciples playing a part in creating something called the Great Schism, and you're not sure exactly what that is, but it has more of an inflammatory, his disciples were part of this. And you keep reading and reading, there's a bunch of other stuff that you're not quite sure about. And one in particular is his mantra that catches your eye, and his mantra that is said by his worshippers of old, of which there are none anymore, is simply, through power, all can be unlocked. Through power, all can be unlocked. As you finish getting this information, your friends Idrisyl and Jix return, looking a little different, a little more somber.
What is with you two?
Oh, yes.
Would I have the book at this point, or is it to be made?
Yeah, you've been given a book. It's a small little book, and it is called what's the name of this book, Chris? Because it's the one Killian wrote in. So what's the title of this book?
It's called Let Us Pray, an autobiography.
and it's just prayers and devotionals, and that's it. You know, it's geez. I mean,
5 prayers.
Yeah. Let us pray.
All right, it is entitled Let Us Pray, and in particular, it has a bunch of prayers and stuff. It also has some of his musings, and there are some diary-like entries. Every time he returned to the temple, he would write about what they did and what happened, and some of the challenges he's had traveling with people not part of the church. He doesn't name names, but he says, elves tend to be very fussy, and you're kind of like, oh, this is interesting, and then like, oh, I don't know if I wanted to have read that now.
Yeah, there's a copyright disclaimer in the front. Their likenesses of these characters may or may not be.
And yeah, you guys are wrapping up there. Anything else?
I just I showed the book to Brenros and explained that we saw the plaque and et cetera, et cetera. What did you find, Sir Brenros? Anything that we could use for our cause?
Very interesting information on this Mansilia, this old god. I did find some information on the mantras that were used, but not much more beyond that, unless you have something else. I am quite taken with how much is actually here. I could delve into so much. I could actually become much of a more well-informed knight if I spent my days here. For example, this book here, and he brings over another book. This one just on lineage alone. I could spend weeks.
Well, that's nice, but I think...
But there's this one here about a figure named Waldo who cannot be found.
And in fact, he can, for I have found him.
Brenros, did you see this one with all of the words of the letter E?
It is a magical place.
All right, you guys head out. You're done? You're done.
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. We are back at the Waterfalls bathhouse with Sildren, who's still standing, fully clothed, just like going back and forth. What do I do? How do I kill? I don't know. What do I do?
I get dressed down to my white robe to
Okay.
blend in.
You are joined by an attendant. It is a very attractive young lady who is wearing even fewer clothes than the lady who greeted you at the door. Very little is left to the imagination. She is very shapely. She is designed to be easy on the eyes. She has her hair all done up nicely with little almost like Christmas mistletoes type stuff interwoven within it.
She's not bad. She was just drawn that way.
Right.
She has a silver platter, of which upon it is a goblet, and there is some fresh fruit upon it. And she says, "Hello and welcome.
Thank
Would you like some refreshment?"
Yes, and I'll take the goblet and the fruit.
It is my understanding you are new here to Waterfalls.
That is true. I have not previously attended the bathhouse.
Well, my name is Lamaril, and I am here to attend to whatever it is that you need. Let me assist you. She puts the silver tray down and grabs onto your robe from behind and begins to disrobe Sildren the Druid.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry, Steve from downtown.
Yeah.
Steve from downtown.
Yeah.
Well, Steve from downtown, why don't you have a seat here within the warm water? It is very comfortable, I assure you. And your nude, naked, lithe body steps into the water. How come things get a little saucy with Sildren all the time? Have you noticed that? I've noticed that.
I have, Tom, and yeah.
I don't need.
Wait, this is about me.
Saucy
This
with
isn't about me. You lose
Say
a hero
thank you,
point.
Tom, and move on.
She's there. She's kneeling on the other side of the bath and has this sponge, this very comfortable sponge, and is rubbing it on your back.
And I, after just a short while, I'll tell her I would like, I just need time to contemplate by myself.
Have I
Thank
done
you.
something to displease you, Steve?
Not in the slightest. I just like to contemplate here at the in the water, and I would enjoy my solitude.
She
I'm
puts
contemplating.
her hand on your cheek and says, Steve, I am here for whatever needs you have.
And my need at this time is solitude. Thank you.
It's
well.
it's healthy to contemplate once a day.
And she leaves you alone to contemplate. What do you do, Steve?
I take about 2.5 minutes to contemplate, and then
Just 2.5 minutes.
Shoot,
and-
where's the contemplation? Shoot.
So these are all private rooms that in this bathhouse, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. And the hallways rather is there a lot of travel? Is it more private? Like if I'm just wandering the halls here, is this is that
You
going to
poke-
be like really suspect?
Yeah, Steve pokes his wet head outside the hall with a robe on that he's trying to get on him quickly. You look left, you look right, you just see another attractive young lady go between rooms, but then you don't see anything else. You can hear some muffled conversations. You know there's private rooms 4 or 5 to the right easily, and there's more past the foyer on the other side. There's also a lot of sound that's covered just merely by each room having its own pouring water. And then it's hard to see all the way down the right too, because it gets really steamy. So it's kind of an interesting little location there.
So if I'm going to head back towards the entrance,
Okay.
and I assume at some point relatively close to the entrance, I would be able to hear the conversations happening when people come in.
Sure.
And so I'm going to try to find a location there, and then also one that I can be alone for at least just a moment. where I
That's
will
the
be
problem.
unseen.
It's a corridor with private. You can duck into one of these private rooms and hope for the best.
Even just that there would be literally just nobody looking at me for a brief moment.
A brief moment? Yes, you
Yeah.
can do that. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, you head down the corridor, your feet slapping on the warm stone, and you are near the entrance, but in the side hallway. No one can see you for just a brief moment, and you wanted to do something.
Yes, and I'm going to utter a few words under my breath, and I'm going to meld into the stone in the wall.
What? What is this? I don't know this.
Nice.
So this is the 3rd level spell. Meld into stone, where for 10 minutes you merge with an adjacent block of stone with enough volume to fit you and all your warm held possessions. You must touch stone when you cast a spell. Basically, I can hear but not see what's going on outside the stone, and then I can cast spells that don't require line of sight. But basically, I spend 10 minutes completely melted into the stone.
Wow. This is one of your big spells, highest level spells.
Yes.
Okay, this last 10 minutes, you do so. You phase into the wall. Does your robe come with you, or is it left behind? Does it slide up against the wall and just drop to the floor?
No,
It hangs on a knot, but no.
A really low, nubby.
just a tiny little bit sticking out. All right, so robe. I mean, it's all of my possessions and everything. So
Okay. You are there. You are within this stone. You wait for a while, and about 4 minutes into your 10-minute spell, you hear the word senator said by the lady at the entrance, and you wait there and you see the hostess walk by. And you see 2 men walk by, a old guy and then a much older guy. They are very finely dressed. They have some guards that are with them, 2 guards. And you also hear them address her as Miss Teal, by the way. And she guides them to their chamber, and she's like, "Oh, it's so wonderful to have you back again, and we have your special arrangements. They will be coming within the next 30 minutes, and let me know if there's anything I can provide you." And they walk down the corridor. What are you doing, Sildren?
I'm gonna wait until I'm unspotted for a moment. I'm gonna step right back out and start heading back towards my room. Nonchalantly, follow, behind them.
All right. There's like this big Sildren-sized hole in the wall left behind. All right, you're back in your private chamber. What are you doing?
So, which chamber did they go into first?
You
off?
spotted. It's 2 down from yours.
And did the guards go in with them?
You see the guards do not go in with them. They go into the private chamber on the other side of the hallway. These chambers have open doors. Everything's stone, open doorways, but the doorways are blocked by the traditional first-person shooter donut. If you know first-person shooters at all, you come into a space, you can go around either side, then you go to the other side. They do that for visibility and computer program. That's what's in my mind, so that's what's happening. So even though the rooms are on either side of the hallways, they cannot see into each other. You can't see in as you're going down the hall into a room. There's like a big pillar in the way.
Right. Shit. Okay. I can get in, but I can't get out. That's my problem. Because shit.
All right, Brenrose, anything you wanted to do?
We're still at the temple itself, right?
You guys are done with the temple. You're heading out. Anything you want to do?
This particular case.
Anywhere you want to go? Anything you want to see, or we can skip to someone else?
I'm fine. So
okay.
And did you see the red button?
I did.
And did you see the green button next to the red button? That was a cool one.
Yeah, lots of buttons. He gave you one though that you can press.
It was like 5 of them I had to press it. It was really dangerous because I had the big piston that was falling.
You did a very good job though.
That button reminded me of the robes of the House Fast guys that we should probably talk about.
What do you want to talk about?
Well, I'm just saying.
How we're gonna smash them?
If they had their own button, then maybe they could. I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, let's smash them. That's a good idea.
Xander, make a basic fortitude saving throw for me, please.
Oh, that sounds not ominous at all. 17.
17 is, that may not be ideal. Hold on, double checking. With a 17, that is a fail. You hear nothing. You experience the pain of 27 points of negative damage. And you hear a voice and a touch on your arm that gives you excruciating pain, and a voice in your ear that says, "Found you." You reel in pain. Iggy, you're looking around and see there is a guy in the crowd on the street, this busy street on this main thoroughfare, wearing a yellow cloak, who has just cast a terrible spell on Xander and messed him up. And what would you like to do, Iggy?
There's just one of them that I see.
You spend an action quickly looking around. You see there are 3 there.
I'm gonna pick Xander up and beat feet.
You grab Xander and you start running.
Yeah.
Okay, you run like crazy. More magic is blasted your way, Iggy. In particular, let's do a level 3 magic missile, shall we?
Oh, perfect.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 magic missiles come flying at you. I rolled 1 too many. I'll take the last one away. That is 16 plus 6, 22 points of force damage as missile unerringly flies into you. The crowd starts to scream and scatter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more magic missiles. 4 plus 6, 19 points of force damage. Just this hail of blue magic darts unerringly slamming into your back, Iggy, as you run through the crowd holding on to Xander. You hear the yellow cloaks. There's a bit of confusion from them. Over there, as the crowd running everywhere and screams are adding to some chaos. Xander, what do you got?
Bounce. Looking over Iggy's shoulders, he's bouncing down the street. Xander will immediately cast back. Are all 3 of them together, or are they like crowded?
You can see only one right now, and there's a bunch of people screaming in front of him, giving him some cover for sure. But you can go for it.
Okay. Xander's gonna throw out his elemental toss. Just whoosh, just fling into that him real fast.
All right, that's an attack roll. Make it.
Yeah. It's a natural 1.
Take a hero point. Take one.
Bounced all over the place.
Theon himself is walking slowly. No, just kidding.
I have returned.
Now is the ball.
I try again. Well, I tried a whole bunch. 20.
A 20 is a connection. You hit.
Yeah. I zap him with a bunch of fire for 17 flame damage.
All right. With your elemental toss, that is a single target. Thank you for not murdering the crowd with a fireball. Yep. Boom, you hit him with flame damage, and he is distracted further. Iggy, make a... This is weird. Make a 20-sided die roll and add the average of your athletics and stealth round up. How's that for weird?
That's a complicated math roll right there.
Athletics and stealth.
Yeah, we've never done an average roll.
No.
You got to make it fast, or they're going to make another attack.
22.
22. With a 22, you see more magic missiles coming your way, but only half as many, Iggy. If they take you down, you are in trouble. Ooh. It is 20 points of force damage slamming into you. Xander, you had something?
Yeah, so Xander did an elemental toss, which is 1 action, so he has 2 other actions.
Oh, sure.
On his turn. Xander will take off his brooch and stick it to the back of Iggy.
What's your brooch called?
My brooch is called the Brooch of Shielding.
Oh, right. You put the magic brooch of shielding around you. You're like, Xander, we don't have time for this. And he wraps it around. He's just getting bounced around. You wrap it around. And I just said 6 magic missiles slammed into you for 20 more force damage, but they get absorbed. I believe every single one of them go focused and get sucked right into this brooch. You take no damage whatsoever.
Thank you.
Very nice.
That is cool. Iggy, I need you to make another roll, please. Same roll as before.
21.
21. Make a willpower roll. Willpower save.
20. Total of 20.
A total of 20 is not enough.
You sure? It's pretty good.
You have failed, and Xander, as you're with him, you see him duck down into an alleyway, holding you, carrying you, the crowd continuing to run. There's some horse that's just racing down past with someone barely in control. There's chaos out in the streets, and you, for some reason, look over at Iggy, who's right next to your face, and Iggy starts chuckling and starts laughing and starts laughing and starts laughing. Iggy, you have been affected by the spell Hideous Laughter. You lose all your reactions, and more importantly, you are now slowed 1, which means of your 3 actions every turn, you're down to just 2, and you are slowed down. You're in an alleyway right now, laughing like crazy. You don't know why, because this is not good, and you're racing down the alley. You want to change tactics? You want to keep running hard? What do you want to do?
Is there anywhere to duck? Is there any doors or anything that I can like duck into?
Yeah, there's some thin-looking door in a back alley. You can make an athletics roll right now and smash it open with a kick.
Yes.
Just need a 15 or higher. You're golden.
Get it?
Natural 20?
Natural 20. You kick open that door. You smash open another door through that place. Go across another alley. Smash open another door through that place. Somehow I'm picturing Juggernaut from the X-Men 3rd movie. You smash through another door, and you are now several alleys down and in a safe spot. And this is some strange pottery shop where there's some old lady there with the little spinning thing, and she's just looking at you very confused.
Oh, am I still laughing?
Yes, you are a hideously laughing dwarf who just smashed in her back door.
Oh, lady, these are beautiful pots. They make me laugh for some reason. Can I, how many can I buy? And I put 5 gold down.
Oh, she stops where she, oh yes, 1 second. And you are able to hang out there, and you are able to avoid the yellow cloaked guys who have totally lost you in the chaos. And we are back at the Waterfalls.
That was stressful.
Bathhouse. Ooh, quick thinking.
That was not work.
Yeah, reality is at this point I don't have a plan that's gonna work, so I'm actually gonna cut my losses and go.
Okay.
Yeah, because with the guards and everything else, there's no way that I'm gonna be able to execute a workable plan. So I'm out.
All right.
There is no try, there's only do.
You guys all meet together back at the Elderbrook Estate, is my assumption, is your meeting place. And you guys see some of you look a little teary-eyed like Jix. Some of you look a bit more mystical and have unraveled the mysteries of the universe like Brenros. And some of you look like you're just still finding a lot of things unnecessarily funny and out of breath. And you all gather
beat to shit a little.
Yeah.
How did everybody's missions go?
Unfortunately, I was not able to speak with the senator. He was guarded and with somebody else. So
we can try again. Maybe tail him from there instead of trying to do it in a place.
So did you use both of those sneaky Steves or just one?
Just one. So I still have not. Okay, here.
Yeah, it only lasts for the day, right? Though.
Yeah, but you never know what's going to happen in the next 12 hours or however long we have left.
Are you gonna give him his gold back?
They never gave it to me.
No, there was no exchange.
So when you guys made a deal with Phineas, because I wasn't there, what was your deal? Because he wanted us to give him all the information we found on the tablet or whatever. Was that part of the deal? That sounded fishy, so I didn't do it.
Yeah, well, there was no real talk of, I think, cost. I think that was left somewhat open to debate, but that's different than what we were talking about with the temple.
It was kind of a loose agreement.
What were we supposed to get? We left him with the shards, but he didn't give us anything.
You left him with all the shards?
Yeah.
All of them?
That's what he wanted. That's why we got them, right?
Well, what did we get?
We.
It wasn't clear.
I got to push the buttons.
We left with nothing. But I did tell him we would come back. I should have asked more questions before going.
This was a good mission.
We also had a run-in with some of those yellow cloaks.
Oh.
It didn't go very well. I'm kind of beat up right now.
You didn't get a rope?
There were 3 of them, and I don't think Xander and myself together could take all 3 of them on.
Brenros is pulling magical shards out of Iggy's backside.
Right?
Yeah.
And we'll lay on hands for an 18, and they're 10
Thank
minutes
you
every after.
so much.
You could just keep doing that.
Oh, me too. I'm a little sleepy.
Glad he carried you. These are a lot of shards here. You said 3 did this?
Yeah, we ran. I had to buy a bunch of fucking pottery. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do with it.
He's loaded with urns and glasses and welcome to Mearscon and all sorts of things.
You guys,
Well, I'm not just going to throw them away. I mean, I bought them. I can't just throw them away.
You guys' birthdays are set for a couple years.
Just give him to Mutter tonight. She'll be thrilled.
Okay.
Brenros
plan?
focused on healing as best he can. Then I also came across at least some information. This marker that we saw, the mantra that was mentioned. I managed to find out specifically the mantra for that. So we have at least that to go on.
That's something we could do. I mean, we have a lot of things to do, but I pretty much remember how to get to the place, I think.
I think the first thing you need to do is go back to Mr. Finnish Tumblepot and get something in exchange for 7 of those blue pills. Shards. Whatever they are.
We could do that, but he was wanting the information that was on the tablet you guys found. And after the dream Idrisyl told me about this morning, that didn't sound like shit to just give away willy-nilly. Even to somebody who we've had dealings with. Right? I don't know what deal you guys struck.
I'm inclined to agree with you, Iggy. I think the information that we have is
He was going to
relatively
give it to somebody else, and like who knows how many hands that's going to pass through.
Yeah, I mean, and these are ancient relics of power. They should not be, unlikely that whoever's searching for them has good intentions.
What time of day is it now?
It's noon.
Oh, okay.
Idrisyl holds up the book again, and it's just like, the temple also bears some more somber information. Within the temple walls, there is a plaque to our friend Killian. He is honored amongst them. And he's also been writing about us in his diary every night. See on page 56.
Did you give his plaque an old spectacles, testicles, wallet, and watch? Proceed.
They made me wash my hands when I went in there.
That's good. Your hands have been in bad places.
I mean,
Mother makes you wash your hands too.
That's mother.
Carahel's a mother of sorts.
Jix wants to try and map out where this nexus point is.
All right. So, what are the instructions you guys have? Do you recall?
1.3 miles west.
3 miles outside the city.
Nope. 1.3 miles west from this marker.
No.
Lies the nexus.
1.3 miles due
west from this marker lies the nexus point. 1.3 miles west by northwest from the nexus point is the vault with the key. The vault lies within the temple of Mearscon. Speak his mantra to open the door.
Jix wants to map that shit.
Brenros really
right.
questions the his error in trying to correct Xander.
And if Xander, I'm sorry, if the Jix is mapping it, I think I can cast it on somebody else. No direction, so that he knows exactly which way is north, which may be helpful.
And O direction or KNOW direction?
KNOW.
KNOW.
I like that one better.
Absolutely helps. All right, so you cast a very defined compass direction spell on Jix. Jix, you get out some paper. You're really good with drawings, right? We know that from your previous rabbit drawings. You start drawing out shapes. You start thinking. You start knowing where different streets are. And you have a pretty rough idea of where that destination 2.6 miles is. And it is in the pits. The pits, which is on our Mearscon map, and I think our audience even has that map. I don't know if they can see it. It's just covered, and I can't quite easily show it. But there is it's on the far west-hand side. It is just southwest of the Stumps district. It's in the bad part of Mearscon. There's a black region known as the Pits. And in this area, there are 2 pits, and you hope it's not in the deep pit. You hope it is in the wet pit. The wet pit is a 100-foot drop pit that is about, let me see, 30, 40 feet wide. No, it's more than 100 feet. It's about 150 feet. It's a deep pit. It's got... It's called the wet pit. It is a garbage pit. The low-class folks that live there put all sorts of crap down there. Not too far away from that, and sometimes you can actually see through a crack and stuff, is what's called the deep pit. That sucker is not known to have a bottom. I will say that certain people from the low-class district put certain things down there that don't need to ever come back up.
So whatever we're looking for is going to be in that pit.
Guys, I think I know where it's at. And I think we're going to find lots of good stuff there. Yeah?
You seem very excited about this.
Yeah, I think it's in the pits.
You've got that weird twinkle thing in your eye that you get every time we find poop.
All kinds of good shit there. Yeah. Where are we going?
Idrisyl looks at his map that Jix drew. Is that not near Long Pier?
It's kind of, by it.
We have a few missions on that side of the city we need to take care of.
If
Should we want to.
We can make it as a quick stop. We could go to Long Pier. We could go find that guy. Right? The gang leader, Zerl.
Would you say a pit stop?
Oh no!
Take 2d8 points of damage.
I just did.
Mental anguish.
That was going to be last week's episode, babe.
We are continuing to get tied down here in Mearscon, when we still have that final chalice to deal with. So we do have to, I think, I don't think we can complete all of these tasks.
Well, if we're going to go into some pits, I'll tell you, Phineas Tumblebot has got a lot of things that have helped us out before. He might even have another, like another balloon bag or something.
I think it would do us well to talk to Phineas before we go there.
Xander then says, watch this. He puts his hand straight down next to him and he exerts a little bit of jet fire out, rises 4 inches off the ground for the first time ever, then loses control and smashes into a table and breaks a vase here in the Elderbrook estate.
Oh, ow.
Oh, you're lucky that wasn't one of my vases.
What was that?
I've been getting ideas. I've been getting so many ideas. You guys don't listen to me. I have thoughts. I have all sorts of plans. And
What has happened in here?
Iggy bought you a new pot.
Yep, right here.
He takes the pot, Chumley, he puts it down on the table and scoops up pieces and looks at you. And then he hears off in the distance, Chumley, what was that? And then he walks off slowly. Said,
Xana, bring your thrusters down to 2%, okay?
That's a great reference.
Thank you.
It's new.
Yeah, Idris was kind of amazed that Xander just flew for a second.
Fire flew.
Fire flew.
Is that science magic shit?
Yes. He's got so many ideas. I need a button.
No comment. No.
All right, what do you guys want to do?
I think we're going to go pay a visit to Phineas.
Okay. You guys head over to Phineas Tumblepot for the second time that day. You pull on the handle outside. You hear a big gong. The big gate door opens up, and Phineas is there with his goggles. His face looks quite a lot like Wile E. Coyote tried to catch the Roadrunner with a rocket, and it's blasted back with blackened soot. And he says, you're back. All of you are back. Come in. Actually, let's leave the door open and let the smoke come out. How can I help you?
Brenrose stands aside to the door and just peers out. Smoke's wafting out, but he's keeping an eye on
Keeping an eye, all right.
This is a cool moment for a still shot. just wants to have the cool moment. Phineas, we have some ideas. I have so many ideas, but there's one I want to tell you about. We have to go down into a really large pit area, and I need your help to see. I knocked that over. I need your help to see if you might be able to give us some more science magic to help us get down and do stuff. Also, I think I can fly.
I'm not sure I heard that correctly, but you needed some science stuff so that you can fly into a pit.
Nailed it.
Perfect. I have 2 things that might be of use. They come at a steep price of 10 gold each. One is I was able to create. Yes.
Maybe we could do a little barter exchange thing.
Okay, I'm up for that.
Great. How about one for each of the blue things we gave you?
The Denobrian shards.
Right, those.
Yeah, you've already given those to me in return for the information. As a matter of fact, you're still missing some of your payment that's supposed to go to the Arcana Society.
What information did we get?
in return for getting going to wherever this treasure led, you were going to return with a diagram of the location that was found by the sewer workers. You were also supposed to write down anything that you could find that was historical information regarding any verbiage.
But we gave the treasure to you.
No, that wasn't the treasure. The shards were my reward.
There was no treasure there. Who said there was treasure?
We did. You were there.
There was no treasure.
Well, there
Nope.
was the tablet thing.
Nope.
Nope.
What? I mean, not that one, but there was the letter that we found.
Nope.
Nope.
Oh,
You're thinking of something else, Xander. I think that was the day before we found the letter.
is this one of those times I'm confused
Yes,
again?
it is.
Make a deception roll, Jix.
Okay. Deception. That's I'm gonna
You want to hear a point? I got a special
I
birthday
got it.
one. Okay.
Oh, I already got it.
Ooh, there you
Natural
go.
20.
Oh my goodness! That's a hero point.
Happy birthday.
Yes, I think we can certainly arrange that. I would feel bad that our newfound relationship would get off on a bad foot at all.
I mean, sorry for the misunderstanding and stuff, but yeah, there was nothing there. There was a bad lead. You got what you wanted, but we didn't really get, you know.
Yeah, I'm sure you say that a lot. Let's find let's find something here. And he starts going into a chest and throwing stuff out and weird bear traps and all sorts of things. Opens up another chest and some strange white whip thing just goes. He stuffs it back down in, goes over to another chest. Says, let's see, vertical. Goes to a wall that has little plastic things labeled just like the Mythbusters has inside their place. He's got all sorts of things. And he finally says, yes, of course, I've got some vertical things for you here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 items for you. Here, he throws a backpack at Jix to replace the one you lost, an emergency balloon. He throws at Jix a small handheld harpoon thing that is another grappler that was given to someone. I can't remember whom. Brenrose? Brenrose has it. But now you have one, Jix. He then throws a section of wrapped up metal linked chains around some bars and throws that to you, Jix, and says, you can deploy that and it will create a long ladder, some 60 feet long, that'll then be locked in place and give you quite some vertical access.
And number 4?
Number 4, he says, it's a bit on the experimental side, and he throws you a slightly larger backpack. This is a super emergency balloon. It deploys faster. It climbs much faster. However, it still has the one fatal flaw of no means of getting back down.
That one, right.
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 There you are, my friends.
This is great. Thank you. You need to teach me your ways. I must know how to do things.
Oh, I might be able to have some sort of apprenticeship, perhaps. Your father can send some money my way, and we can arrange an apprenticeship. You're a little older than usual, but I think something could happen.
Do you need to talk to my father? Is that important?
That's how most apprenticeships happen. You will stay here. I will provide a cot. I'm thinking somewhere between 3 to 4 years, and then you can become a journeyman. And then probably 5 to 10 years, depending on how well you do, obviously. And if you take orders well and are very calm and don't touch anything you're not supposed to, then we can move on to perhaps some mastership after that.
You say years?
Yes. Your campaign has downtime, doesn't it?
It's not.
No.
I can do this.
And no buttons?
No buttons for 5 years.
No. Now that we've done that exchange, I believe it was Jix, yes? You had the information for my friend. I would be really uncomfortable if he kind of set all this up for both of us, and I don't give him anything in return.
Sorry, slipped my mind. Just give me, it's all in here to keep it safe,
All right, here, and he gives you a paper and a quill and ink.
Perfect. Jix writes down completely erroneous map.
An erroneous map. He said, and what was? There were some words the sewer workers said. My friend needed what were the words that were there?
Right. Yes. It was. What was it?
Mantra was power to the people.
No, it wasn't that one.
Jix is scrolling through his phone.
Looking through my list of
ancient writings. Take your time.
No, I think it's this one. It's okay. You ready?
Yes.
There's a little bit of a tune to it.
A tune.
I've got the right stuff, baby. To make your crap your pants a little. No, not that one. Oh, here we go. Nope, that one has splooge in it. It's not that one. I remember. The magic word was. You ready? It was open sesame.
Open sesame. All right.
Says me. The accent's on the me.
Of course. Well, write that down, and I'm grateful. You guys are good friends.
Here, that's this.
He takes it, blows on it, rolls it up, and puts it in a little scroll case. I will deliver it to this Arcana Society immediately, and I wish you well on your adventure into your climbing spelunking.
Yeah, we're expecting some good things.
And come back this weekend, Xander, and we will begin possibly your apprenticeship.
Okay.
And you guys head out. Where are you going?
Xander, is that a cave behind you?
But right there?
Yes. Foreshadowing, and I didn't know it.
It was in my dreams.
I guess we're heading to the pit, the wet pit.
Are we doing that, or are we going to the trade warehouse?
Yeah, do we know when that deal thing was supposed to go down at the trade warehouse?
I don't think we do.
Nope.
That was a week ago.
Nope. So where are you headed?
What do you guys want to do?
Someone
I think
jump
we
in.
should go try to find Zerl.
Yeah.
Or do we just
Yes.
chase the chalice?
You guys, we're the champions of the Grey Wolf. Okay, so we've had some setbacks. We've done some things, but we need to make sure this place is ready. Iendamor is counting on us. The Grey Wolf himself is counting on us. We can't just go. Sir Brenners, I know your cups are super fancy, and I know you really, really need them, because you got to get rid of them. But we're here. We got to do this. And the Nexus Key might be a really cool thing to do if we do it, but we got to make sure the place is ready for the king, or it won't work for anybody. We got to talk to Greer, and we got to take out the House Nakor. I still think it's a great idea to make the houses fight each other and think that one caused the other one to get things started. We can pretend to be House Vass, then pretend to be House Nakor, and then make them fight each other. It's a good idea!
Everyone in the street's just standing around. Yeah, that sounds good.
That seems reasonable, yes.
I need a parrot cover for Xander.
You, sir, you agree with me, right? Aren't you tired of being under the thumb of House Vass? And you, sir, you do not want to be controlled by the Sildren any longer. Everyone with me. Trouble with a capital T that rhymes with P and that stands for pool.
Oh, we got trouble. Oh, we got trouble.
Jesus.
Oh, I'll break out Music Man as well. I'm there.
We gotta do this. Let's go talk to Zerl.
We're talking to Zerl then.
All right, Xander's impassioned speech moves the group. You guys head out. You go across town and try to stay out of the main thoroughfares for concern of being picked up by House Vass agents, and make your way to the Long Pier district, which is also not visible on the map. I need to move my map somehow. It is on the far west-hand side of the city. You go down a wide road into a lower tier of the city is where this is located. The Long Pier on the southern side, it's a long district that crosses the whole western side of the city. The southern side has access to the big bridge, and the other district on the other side where a lot of caravans come through. You guys are headed up north. Walking through, there are tons of docks. There are lots of big, tall ships, small ships. You pass by not one, not two, but 3 different huge ships that are being constructed. There's big cranes moving around big sections of wood and lots of activity and action. There are tons of warehouses and carts and wagons. This is a huge hive of activity. Mearscon is one of the, if not the largest port on the western side of Varen. Iggy stops at one point and just looks off at the ocean off in the distance. And, you know, far beyond the horizon are the Thousand Isles, where you've done some of your time as a young dwarf, as a sailor, and think back to some of your escapades there. The area has that docky smell of fish and water. There are, again, lots of sounds of activity. It's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. You ask around a little bit and can easily find out about this fellow Zarl, and they let you know he is at a tavern called the Capstan, way up north in Long Pier. You guys make your way there. At this tavern you approach, it is essentially a very rickety dock with misshapen boards on very rickety stilts, and on it that you go out maybe 40 feet, and out there is a tavern of wood that's very dilapidated that is also on stilts. Each step you take to get out there is creaky. You see the stilts are covered in green algae and barnacles, and you approach this place called the Capstan. You walk inside, it smells just as weird and reeky inside as it did out, very musty. There are several tables here. There are a bunch of sailors, maybe 6, that definitely you can identify, Iggy, as sailors who are having a good time in late afternoon drinking. There's a bartender who looks really grumpy. In the middle of this tavern, there's no rooms or anything above. It's just a drinking place. In the middle of this tavern is an actual capstan, and that is it's almost like a ship's wheel. It's the big round section with big beams that stick off that they can move around to get ropes to move very quickly one way or the other. They've got that in the middle of the room, and you can see on the far side of the room, as the 6 of you armed folks come in, there are 2 thug-looking guys with swords and leather armor, and then there's a metal armored guy with a sword out on the table who is a half-orc who kind of snarls in your direction even though he's like 50 feet away, wondering who the hell you are.
Sildren just tosses him a wink.
Okay. Your wink is only at 30 feet. You got to do extend wink.
I have reach.
Okay.
You think that's the guy?
They all seem very friendly.
That's the piece of shit for sure. Look at him.
Okay. Xander starts walking up to him.
Okay, you walk up.
Xander.
Too late. Xander's there. Xander, you walk up to the table. The guy.
You just want to roll initiative now, or?
You see, he is a bit bloodied. His nose looks bloodied, and he's got big bruises under his eyes and around his nasal cavity. He has taken some damage recently for sure. He spits on your shoes, on your boots, Xander. What do you want?
I want to make sure that you and I are living the right life. We're doing the right thing at the right place at the right time and the right people. You and I need to talk.
Talk about what?
Talk about how crappy this place is, how horrible this entire city's been, and how you should be king of this place. Well, not king, but certainly a lot better off than what these senators have done.
I agree. I should be king, but who the hell are you? You better speak up now before we slit your throat. I don't care how many idiots you have standing on the other side, 60 feet away.
No, I follow. At the mention of slitting throats, Iggy saunters over.
All right.
I'm looking for Zarl. Is that you?
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine we're not standing on the other side of the room.
I know Sir Brenro says that's all he does when he walks into an establishment, is stand by the freaking door.
It's like having ADA, there's no accessibility for heavy armor and moving around. So.
All right. Oh, that's also, he's a bit concerned. This place creaks when he steps. He knows there's nothing but seawater underneath him in his metal armor.
All right. Sildren's moving up with Iggy.
Okay.
Idrisyl goes to the bar.
All right. Jix?
Jix. Yeah, he goes up with the group to where
Okay,
Xander
Jix
is,
is with
but
the group.
hangs in the back.
I'm going to speak plain, because that's what you want. We're champions of the Grey Wolf. We're here to make sure that the Senate no longer runs this town. We're going to take down some of these houses a peg or two. We think that you could benefit from this very greatly. We want to get you involved.
I have no idea what the hell you are talking about.
You're not Zarl, are you?
He says, I'm Zarl. And who the hell are you?
I'm Xander. I'm a champion of the Grey Wolf.
I don't
He's on
know
his
who
way
that
back.
is.
You're
You're starting to piss me off.
You don't need to be pissed. I'm just letting you know we want to make sure that you get on the right side.
No. I get it now. You're working for this Grey Wolf, right? Right. And you're going to think you can move in on my territory. This pier here is mine. I go up north to the Red Warehouse and I'm down south past the Double Taverns. That's my territory. And if you think you're moving in, you got another thing coming.
Does Jix have any city lore that could apply to the situation? Like,
You need to tell me what it is.
knowing, does he know who this guy is and like kind of what his story is?
Yeah, make a Mearscon lore of 30.
Okay. It's possible.
You can do it. Not that way.
21. Not quite.
Okay.
Xander reaches into his pouch and pulls out a platinum.
He grabs his sword and keeps it close as you reach into your pouch.
Pulls out a platinum. Sets it down in front of him.
You're not buying me off that easy.
I'm not trying to buy you off at all. I'm trying to talk to you. That's for my time. Can I get 5 minutes for that?
Yeah.
That's a lot of combat rounds.
There are 4 houses that we know about up in this city that are causing this place to go to ruin. The Senate is in their pocket. We don't think that's right. The Grey Wolf is the rightful king of Navarre. He's coming back. And we want to make sure that it works out for him. We're not moving in. We're cleaning up. Your place is yours. Frankly, it's a little small. You can get it bigger. But I need your help to take down these houses and make sure that this place runs better.
I'm not touching anything with any houses. You get houses on you, you're dead. I've already run into him today, and look at this. He points to his face. I want nothing to do with you and your stupid houses, and I don't know anything about any senates.
What happened to your face?
House Summerall do that to you?
House Summerall? No. No. I had a bit of a problem today. So I'd appreciate no more problems.
What was your problem? Maybe we can solve it.
How can you solve my problem?
Well, it seems like you're a little light around here with muscle. We have more than enough in our group here. What problem do you have?
I had some idiot come by, and he definitely had one of those little silver braids in his hair that's of that House Nakor, and he came in asking about something, didn't like what I told him, and punched me till I told him whatever he wanted to hear. So I want out of this.
What
If this is your game.
What information was he looking for?
He was asking about someone who was making his way to a ship, and he asked about him if I had seen the fellow, and I told him I had.
And he punched you because you had seen him?
No, he punched me because I wouldn't tell him, and then he punched me, and then I told him. And now you're trying to say you want me to get involved with this? I'm not getting involved with this. I told him about his man and what I saw, and that's it.
We don't need you involved, but we do need some information.
And why should I tell you anything?
There's that platinum on the table, and we might be able to be in a position to dole out some punishment to the man that did that to your face.
All right. No skin off my back then. What do you want?
Who was the person that you were talking about, and what ship?
I don't know. I don't know who the man was.
Tell
me. What are you laughing at? I don't know who the man was, but he was wearing a traveling cloak. But you could tell he was no sailor. He had really fancy clothes on underneath. Hell, we were going to roll him ourselves, but then we saw a pack of gnomes grab him and take him away. And that's what I told this guy. He said, where's my friend? And have you seen this guy? And you know this area. And I told him after this, I told him these gnomes came and took his buddy away. And we seen those gnomes before. And we just decided to go drinking instead. And
where have you seen the gnomes before?
They've been hanging out at that Matterson warehouse just down the pier. And they grabbed this dude and took him off. We didn't want to get in the middle of it.
Okay.
What do you know about the warehouse?
Well, it's been closed for about a month, and we're thinking of pinching something from there. And this was a couple weeks ago, and that's when we first saw these ugly-looking gnomes there. And my fourth guy, he got killed by him, so we leave that place alone.
All right.
Fair enough.
That doesn't sound like gnomes. You're probably right.
Xander.
You're a half orc, right? You look like you're a little orcish there.
Yeah.
And you let a pack of gnomes push you around.
What are you saying?
I mean,
Jix. Let sleeping dogs lie.
Can I do you one more thing?
He looks at you.
Sildren, can you heal this guy? Xander's trying to give his very smug, leadership face.
All right.
Like he doesn't even make eye contact with Sildren. Waves over, like he's seen someone do that before.
No, I don't want no one touching me with any bandages. I'm good.
He'll be fine in a couple days. It's not that bad. He's tough.
Sildren will cast just a level 1 heal, just from where he is.
All right.
So that the spring breeze.
Yeah. Well, you might have done something. I can smell a little bit better.
Indeed.
It was a summer's eve, douche.
Well, if there's nothing else,
Zoral, thank you for your time. You're not too bad for a half orc.
He doesn't say anything, but he scoops up that platinum piece as you guys head out. I'm surprised Iggy's so nice to a half orc. You hate orcs.
Yeah.
That's true. You're the
Only
most
half.
diplomatic one of that whole group.
I know, it's very strange. You guys head out then?
Yeah.
Okay. You walk out of that place down the creaky, thin little dock thing, and are back on the solid pier. And the solid pier of Long Pier, by the way, is made of stone all the way along. It's really nice old construction.
Jix, you know where this warehouse is?
Madison Warehouse?
Yeah.
I think I know where it's at.
Xander, if we need to do some damage to some gnomes, are you going to be all right?
Yeah, I can figure it out.
Okay,
Probably not gnomes though.
You guys head over there. The rain starts to really pick up and pour down on you guys as you make your way along the pier. You head towards Madison Warehouse. There are a couple carts that go by, overloaded with crates and barrels lashed down, but there's not a ton of activity as you head over towards the place. Jix points it out. It's a two-story warehouse of some size. There is an old dilapidated broken down wagon with one wheel busted outside of it. And again, lots of rain coming down. What do you guys want to do?
If we get pretty close, Santa's going to detect magic outside the door.
Okay, so you're walking up to the door and casting Detect Magic. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay, you cast Detect Magic and you detect magic.
It works! There's magic in here, you guys!
Let's keep walking around the building and take a quick look around.
Okay. You guys look around the building. It has a big, huge set of doors that faces the water that are massive, that can let a lot of cargo in and out. It has side doors on the right and left. It has no windows on the bottom floor, but it does have short but wide windows up on the second floor, several of those up there. Very flat top. And yeah. You get, there's a couple, again, some dock workers that go by, but they don't pay you much attention.
They said it was closed for a long time, but are there any? Is there any light coming from the windows? It just seemed like anybody's there at first glance.
Looking from down below, looking up, you do see some light coming through the windows.
Yeah.
So, what's the plan?
Kick the door in, see what's going on, or we knock on the door nicely and try to talk our way in. Or some of us knock on the door and talk our way in while the other rest of us sneak in.
I can do that.
And shunk, an arrow for 7 points of damage pierces Idrisyl's side as someone has just hit you, Idrisyl. You try to find some quick cover. With -5, you are hit again for 10 points of damage, and a third shot is fired, and that one misses and hits the wall next to you. Shoot, shoot, 2 hit, a third goes wide. You look around, you can see there is a small shack, some sort of tool shed, maybe 60 feet away. The door is slightly open, and there's some strange archer sniper dude. You can see his hand and the edge of the bow from the darkness shooting. What do you guys want to do?
Hunt, prey, quick draw.
Hunt prey is done. Quick draw, you have your bow out and you can fire a shot if you'd like.
You said it was 60 feet away, Christopher.
60 feet.
Yep. I'm gonna go ahead and find my right weapon. With 27.
27 is a hit. What's your damage?
Yeah. Nice.
That's 14 points of damage.
14 is a hit. You have 1 action left.
I'm gonna do a hunted shot, and I'm gonna attack him twice.
Good, go for it. Holy moly!
That's a 28 and a 27 to hit.
Holy moly!
Those are good rolls.
Wow.
Were those? That was an attack 2 and attack 3. That was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Roll your damage on those hits.
That's 8 points and 12 points of damage.
All right, you have slain your target as you see a hand and bow collapse outside the darkness of the warehouse.
Yeah,
You
you said it's raining, right?
Yep.
So it's raining, and I'm looking up at the windows to see, and I just ting right in the thigh without removing my hood or anything. I just and I just
Yeah, it's
nail him.
3 shots
Yeah.
go flying into this narrow window spot and drop. This attacker drops. Nice.
The rest of us are still just kind of like looking around, trying to like get our
let's find out
bearings.
How do we? Does the door?
Yeah, all right, we don't even notice.
Yeah, I just call out Sildren, Brenros, on me. Anyone else who wants to come too? But you know,
Okay.
this is the first names I thought of.
You 3 head over towards the shack. You kick the bow out of the way, and you see it's a small shack and only one guy. He is dead inside with 3 arrows, center mass chest. It is a guy wearing some slightly nicer looking leather armor. He's got a kind of a whitish ponytail in the back that is wrapped up in a silver colored piece of cloth. Jix pokes his head in there, and Jix, you recognize that as that means you're a member of House Nakor.
This guy's from the core.
We should be careful. He's been murdered.
So we got
They
Vash
said-
after us and House Nakor.
No,
And
Nakor was watching this. Nakor was watching this warehouse, right? This guy just may not have liked us hanging around.
perhaps.
Brenros steps back and looks at Idrisyl, and you're not wearing any of the other house garb. They just took a shot at you for some reason.
They probably still know who we are at this point.
I think Sildren or Idrisyl. One of you guys take this guy's clothes, stand guard in his place, and wait for your relief to come. I mean, they're bound to send someone to relieve this guy sooner or later.
That or we just kick the door down and burn this place to the ground.
Yeah.
Are we sure we want to do that?
No, but we should see what's.
Yes! Arrow leeches on the warehouse over and over.
So nice to have Xander supporting that. It's like
Burn it down! Let's go!
Idrisyl will ask everyone if we want to go back to the door. So are we doing this with stealth, or it looks like the element of surprise is going to be lost on us?
Well, you surprised him pretty good.
I don't think this one got a chance to get off any warning.
Well, if he was watching, someone else could be. I'll stand here for now. I'll come in a few
takes
minutes.
a dramatic pose as he scans the skyline.
No, Sir Brenros reaches over and just checks and pulls the guy's walkie-talkie off to make sure he didn't talk to Hans.
No, I'm gonna.
Booby,
I'll stay
and
here.
your white knight.
I'll stay here for now, and I am gonna take Jix's advice and I guess hide the body if there's like a curtain or a shack or a tent or anything of any kind.
He is 3/4 inside a shack.
I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna take off my armor real quick and just put on the top layer of his.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna stand there.
All right.
I'm
What
just
are the
gonna-
rest of you doing?
Does there seem to be any responding commotion? Either someone up looking down at our position that seems to be
Great question.
moving about?
Absolutely no motion or response in any way.
Yeah, I handled it pretty quickly.
I don't.
Jix wants to start heading. He heads over towards the front door.
The big front doors. Okay.
Igno will go with him.
Yep, Sildren too then.
And this is
Remember,
like
there's magic!
This is mid-afternoon, right?
This is around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Yes,
Well,
lots of rain coming down.
What is this about magic? What magic? What's wrong with the magic?
I detected magic there. There's magic.
Bad magic.
Granted, not my magic.
I don't think we should go through the door.
How do you want to proceed then? Leave it alone?
Leave this door alone. Xander seems very against going to the door and messing with the door.
Unless we could maybe dispel it, or I don't know if it's a trap or if it's just sealed or what, or if it's a light.
Maybe not all of us go to the door. Maybe some of us look around and look for a different way in, while the rest of us knock on the door and create a distraction or diversion.
It's like you said my name. Xander runs over to the front door.
All right, Xander's at the front door.
Brenros is going to the side to try to find a window to stare into.
Brenros, there are windows on all 4 sides, but they are all on the 2nd story.
Is there any easy way up to the 2nd story?
There are some crates that are stacked up next to the walls. Yeah, you can kind of do something there.
Somebody tackle that gnome and give me just a moment. And then
Xander.
Iggy's got Xander by the scruff.
Hold on. We've been a good team today. We've been a good team today, but just slow down.
Sildren, you had something?
Yeah, I'm gonna hop up on the crates and try and get a vantage looking in through the window.
Don't we have a bird?
Yeah, but she's
she's tired of getting murdered.
Where has the bird been?
she's around. She's around.
She's still in the bathhouse enjoying herself.
She's still in the wall, like
yeah, she's stuck in the wall. You didn't unmeld her.
Oh, that would be horrific. No, I mean she can only convey so much. So.
Plus, she flies into the glass all the time.
More helpful than nothing.
All right, Sildren, you climb up a box, a couple crates. You're able to look through a window into the 2nd floor of this warehouse and see there is no 2nd floor. You are looking down into the warehouse.
Right.
There are several lamps on that are burning oil lamps, and it's relatively lit up inside. You see there are a bunch of big crates and small crates stacked kind of haphazardly. You can see just inside the front door. Make a perception roll. Perception roll, please.
Ooh. I'm going to go ahead and use 2 hero points on that.
What did you roll?
No.
I rolled a natural 1.
Okay.
Only use 1. Let me use a birthday
I feel
point.
like this is probably important. How about a total of 30?
That's a big difference than a natural 1. With a total of 30, you spot some exacting details. You see just inside the front door, there is a damaged and kind of flipped over desk and chair. There is a body lying on the floor in a pool of blood. The lighting I said was good. That body with a freaking 30 is of a guy wearing a simple traveling cloak, but he's got some really nice boots on that you can see. Right. You can also see several shapes moving around in different areas. There's 2 or 3 shapes over here. There's 1 shape over there, 1 shape over there. They are all gnomish looking creatures, but they are not gnomes. They are gnomes but have longer necks and slightly longer ears. And make a nature roll for me, Sildren.
This is going to be embarrassing if I don't make this. Natural 20.
Way!
30
My druid knowledge is working hard for me.
Wow. You identify these creatures as Spriggans. In particular, they are short deviations of gnomes. You've run into these before in your past. Long ago, when the races were forming, they were gnomes, but they lost their sense of curiosity. They lost their sense of humor and joy, and they became very focused and very grim gnome creatures. So they are Spriggans. They're, again, very gnomish, but longer features. They are violent. You see they are all armed, and you got a freaking natural 20, huh? Jeez. All right, do you want to know their armor class, their best saving throw, their number of hit points, or their special ability? Choose one.
Special ability.
Special ability of Spriggans is when you hit them, they can react and they can grow in size, and they morph into big, allowing them to do more damage, but it doesn't last long. That's your experience with them. You see there are about a half dozen of these Spriggans there are some that are just screwing around and opening up crates. There's 2 or 3 that are actually fighting each other with their weapons. And then there is a larger leader Spriggan who is messing around with a satchel on the far side. You can barely see him. It looks very claustrophobic in there, lots of crates, hard to maneuver around. You look back down at your friends like, okay, this is going to be interesting, and we will stop there for tonight. So,
man.
Thank you everyone for checking us out. Again, you can find us on twitch.tv/ingloriousbards. Also, join us at ingloriousbards.com, where you can join us on the Discord server, and we have a ton of bonus content on our patreon.com/ingloriousbards. Right after this, we're going to record the after show for the episode. We got a ton on there. And thanks for hanging out with us.
Thank you, guys.